welcome inside Hard Rock Stadium for 3304 Sports. I'm Tyler Katz, joined alongside my broadcast partner in Ryan Wilkes as the Miami Hurricanes take on the Virginia Tech Hokies in the final home game of the season for the Hurricanes as the captains meet at midfield for the coin toss. Ryan, this is going to be a very entertaining game to watch as both teams with a win today will secure bowl eligibility with their sixth win of the season.
Yeah, it sure will be a good one. Like you said, a lot left to play for both of these teams. Obviously, bowl eligibility now. The ACC Championship game is out of the question for the Hokies as Pittsburgh took down Virginia earlier today. So the Hokies will not be able to compete for the ACC Championship game, but they still have two important games remaining, as do the Hurricanes.
As the coin toss has been made at midfield, Miami has won the coin toss and has elected to defer to the second half. So the Hokies will start things on offense when we're ready to kick things off. Big storyline for the Hurricanes tonight. New man at the helm, J.C. Price, the interim head coach, was named the head coach on Tuesday after Justin Fuente and Virginia Tech mutually parted ways. As Virginia Tech made that announcement apparent on Tuesday, despite the last game for the Hokies being a blowout victory over the Duke.
Yeah, it seemed like that news was going to come at some point for the Hokies, but Tuesday was quite an unexpected turn of events when Justin Fuente had been announced that they were mutually parting ways. And J.C. Price tonight, former defensive lineman for the Hokies, former defensive lines coach. So we'll see how much the identity changes for the Hokies. They've kind of had an identity crisis all season. We'll see if they can kind of figure out where they're at tonight.
Virginia Tech and Miami take the field. Miami will be wearing white pants with orange and green accents, green uniforms with white numbers, orange accents on the sleeves, and their traditional white helmets with the green and orange U adorned across the side. For Virginia Tech, their traditional road uniforms, their solid maroon pants, white jerseys with orange and maroon accents on the shoulders, maroon numbers, and maroon helmets with a white and orange stripe over the top with the VT on the side. Kicker Andres Borregales puts it on the tee for the Hurricanes. Back deep for the Hokies will be number 23 in Keyshawn King. Toe meets leather and we're underway from Hard Rock Stadium. King will let this one roll into the end zone. It hits the bottom leg of the M in Miami. It will be a touchback for the Hokies as they'll set up at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Tyler, the rain is coming down here at Hard Rock Stadium. We'll see how that affects the Hokies' game plan early on. Obviously, the ground play is going to come into play, and both of these sidelines are very fired up to start this one. We saw a bunch of towels waving. We saw all the players jumping, so the energy's high to start this one.
So Braxton Burmeister will take the field. He has Raheem Blackshear standing to his immediate right. Claps his hands, will look over to the right side. It's an immediate screen pass over to Trey Turner, but he'll be bumped into and taken down. The Hurricanes with a big tackle for a loss to start today's game. One thing to note, Trey Turner typically wearing number 11, wearing number 25. Beamer's 25 today against the Canes. Back to pass over to the right side. We'll have, I believe that is Gallo. It is Gallo making the catch, a gain of maybe around 2 yards. It will be third down and long for the Hokies. Third down and 7, ball on the 28-yard line.
Yeah, we see the Hokies swing the ball out to the right side twice. Both kind of unsuccessfully. Got a couple yards there on second down, but Trey Turner was swallowed up immediately on that first play of the ball game, and now you got a third and manageable, but 7 yards here.
Third and 7. Burmeister in the shotgun, twins out to the right side, a single receiver out to the left. That's Caleb Smith. Referees come inside. The side judge waving his arms to stop the clock. Our head official today is Dwayne Haight. And now the ruling on the previous play is under review. The ruling on the field was a completed pass. Should this one fall incomplete, it would go back to third down and 10 with the clock stopped. And so far, Miami's defense has looked really impressive.
Yeah, they're flying the football on these first two plays. And that play was over there near the Miami sideline. We couldn't really see where he caught that ball on that far sideline, but the referees obviously saw something that needed to be looked at on that sideline.
So the Hokies, just 3 plays in, make that 2 plays in to their trip to Miami, already have a play under review as a pass to Trey Turner, make that Nick Gallo that was completed for 3 yards, was pushed out of bounds by Tyreek Stevenson for the Miami Hurricanes, the sophomore native of Miami. But now just waiting to see where the ball will be. An interesting review. Number one, not only this early in the game, but it's only a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, it is a fairly insignificant play as the referees look like they're ready to make the ruling on the field here.
And interesting to note what our head referee and Dwayne Haight said, the ruling on the field stands, which means there was not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field. But regardless, it will be 3rd down and 7 for Virginia Tech. The television station in the ACC network did go to timeout for that review, so we're just waiting for them to get back from their commercial break before we resume our game here from Hard Rock Stadium. One thing to note, however, 2 plays. You mentioned the weather. It's rainy, humid, muggy, sticky, and a bit of wind coming across, mostly protected by the grandstand, but overall the weather is not what the Hokies have been used to. But yet they've thrown the ball twice.
Yeah, you'd think the Hokies would start the game off with a run or two, but they have thrown the ball twice, albeit screen passes and little out routes, but nonetheless, that is surprising to see them throw the ball twice to start this ball game.
Both were completed, one to Trey Turner for no gain, the other to Nick Gallo that was just under review for 3 yards, as both teams will take the field yet again coming out of the timeout. So both teams getting a chance to regroup for Virginia Tech, try to find out what their route can be. Again, new head coach in J.C. Price taking over the helm that Justin Fuente had occupied for nearly 6 full seasons. Price, the co-defensive line coach, before being promoted to interim head coach, as the Hokies will now look for a head coach for their 2022 season. Still 2 games left to play, however, in the 2021 campaign. Twins will go out to the left side. Twins over to the right. Burmeister stands in the shotgun with Raheem Blackshear standing to his immediate right. Man in motion goes from right to left. That's going to be number 9 in Robinson. Back to pass. Rolling out to the left side goes Burmeister. Burmeister decides to keep it himself. Turns on the jet and will fall close to the sticks. Clock keeps rolling. He'll be short of the first down marker.
Yeah, it looked like Burmeister was short by about 3 or 4 yards there. Braxton has escaped the pocket most of the season, had a lot of success, but right there, as we said earlier, this Miami defense is swarming the football, and they're going to force a 3-and-out in the first Tech drive.
It'll bring on Peter Moore, the punter. Back deep for the Miami Hurricanes to receive is number 15 in Jacoby George. Punt is away by Moore. It'll be picked up by George at around the 20-yard line. He rolls over to his left side, has no one really around him. Breaks the tackle, makes a couple of Hokies miss, and George has some room to run. Gets to the 50-yard line. Still on his feet and will be tackled right around midfield. A great return for Jacoby George.
George was retreating backwards for a certain amount of time there, but cut back, made one man miss, and then he had a lot of green grass in front of him. He made Amari Chapman miss, and then Oscar Shadley, the long snapper, and he was off to the races. And now the Canes have good field position for their first drive of the ballgame.
So it's returned all the way to the Miami 45-yard line. So George wasn't able to get into opposing territory, but they're really close to it. Line to gain is the Virginia Tech 45-yard line. Van Dyke takes the snap, leading the charge. Throws deep down the right side on the first play. Has his man caught at the 15-yard line. Charleston Rambo way downfield. He's been their man for the Hurricanes so far this season and produces on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, and Charleston Rambo so close to that, eclipsing that 1,000-yard mark, and he might have did it right there. If not, he was very close, but that has been the guy for the Hurricanes.
Miami in hurry-up offense. They'll hand things off to Jalen Knighton. Knighton rolls to the left side and is stopped for, looks like a loss of 1 on the play. But a huge play for Charleston Rambo. That goes for 39 yards. He's now just 6 yards away from 1,000 yards this season.
Yeah, he's been that guy for Miami. Transfer from Oklahoma has really made noise in this offense and really been that deep threat for Van Dyke this year.
So Tyler Van Dyke is 4-3 as the starter of the Miami Hurricanes this season. Tight formation. Hokies seem to be a little bit lost waiting for the snap. Van Dyke back to pass, rolls out to his right side, up the middle. It was a fake. They'll find Rambo yet again. And it looks like that will be the 6 yards needed for Rambo to get into that 1,000-yard mark. He becomes the make that the 5th Miami wide receiver to have a 1,000-yard receiving season.
That's quite the accomplishment, especially for a guy that is brand new to this program. His first year with the Hurricanes. Huge accomplishment for Charleston Rambo, and this sets up a Miami Hurricanes 3rd and short.
It'll be 3rd down and 3, 11:40 on the game clock. Still scoreless. Twins out to the left side, a single receiver out to the right. Van Dyke has a man in motion. It's going to be Mallory. Van Dyke takes the snap, looks over the middle, will throw to his right side, wide open, man! Touchdown, Miami! Too easy for the Hurricanes. Will Mallory hauls it in, his 4th touchdown catch of the season, and the Hurricanes dominant on defense, now dominant on offense as they take an early 6-0 lead pending the extra point.
Yeah, Amari Barno, I think he thought that was an out route. He kind of bid on that. Mallory came on the wheel route, found himself wide open. Beautiful throw by Tyler Van Dyke, and pretty much a layup for the Hurricanes right there.
So now on to kick the extra point. Andres Borregales has not missed, 36 for 36 on the season. Will line up for the extra point to make this a 7-0 game. Some movement on the line. Virginia Tech says this one's a false start on Miami, which would make that extra point kick 5 yards longer. There's going to be a collection of referees right around the 3-yard line as they talk about what this penalty will be. And the first penalty marker we've had today. We'll wait to see what the call is. And it looks like they're talking about how this is going to be against Virginia Tech. So now a decision for Manny Diaz is if it is offsides against Virginia Tech. So now you're on the 1-yard line or 1.5-yard line. Do you go for 2 this early and try to impose your will?
I don't think so. I think it's a little too early to do that, and it looks like they're just going to stick with kicking the extra point here.
So again, Borregales 36 for 36 on extra points. This one's going to be a little bit closer. Same to a 19-yard field goal at this point. Borregales, the kick is up and will split the uprights, make that 37 for 37 on the season. It's Miami 7 and Virginia Tech 0. 11:26 left to go in the first quarter. Miami's looked dominant so far, but Virginia Tech will get the ball back when we return on 3304 Sports. Back here from Hard Rock Stadium as Miami getting on the scoreboard first with a 9-yard completion to the tight end Will Mallory. From Tyler Van Dyke, one thing to note for Van Dyke, that will be his 20th passing touchdown of the season. In ACC play, both teams 3-3, taking a look elsewhere in the ACC. Back on Thursday, Louisville defeating Duke 62-22. Finals everywhere else except for here. NC State defeating Syracuse 41-17. Pitt defeating UVA 48-38. Notre Dame defeats Georgia Tech 55-0. Florida State goes on the road and defeats Boston College 26-23. North Carolina defeats Wofford 34-14, and Clemson defeats Wake Forest 48-27. Borregales puts the ball back on the tee, kicked off on the game clock what was 3 minutes and 44 seconds ago. Already back with the ball on the tee, ready to give it back to the Hokies. Back deep to return for Virginia Tech is going to be Holston and Keyshawn King. King standing right in front of the goal line. Had a big game last week against Duke. Ball is end over end. It will be received by King, who takes it out from the 1-yard line, rolls to the left side, tries to get through a host of tacklers, but will fall, make himself trip at around the 20-yard line. Would have been better off letting that one roll through the end zone.
Yeah, King almost had a chance there. If he would have gotten through that hole, it looked like Kelly Lawson had a block there on the outside. Could have sprung King for more yardage, but just tripped up right there, and the Hokies will set up a shot near the 20.
So right at the 20-yard line, Burmeister will have trips over to the right side, nobody to the left on the short side of the field. Burmeister claps his hands, looks over to the right side, will throw, caught by Blackshear. Blackshear gets to around the 24-yard line before being thrown down with emphasis. Big tackle for the Hurricanes. In on the stop is going to be Tyreek Stevenson. He's been having a good game so far for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, the Hokies are really working that right side of the field, and to not much success. They haven't really found anything over there. And like you said, Tariq Stevenson, the Georgia transfer, has really made an impact on this defense, and his presence has been felt so far.
Twins over to the left side, a single receiver to the right. It'll be 2nd down and 8 on the 22. A direct snap by Blumrick, as Blumrick comes in the game for the first time in many weeks as he runs for the first down. I don't think Miami was expecting it, as Blumrick was seen as out indefinitely early this season. He was seen warming up last week against Duke, now getting a snap here against the Hurricanes. Burmeister is back in the game as trips to the right side, a single receiver to the left. Excuse me, that's still going to be Blumrick. Blumrick looks over to the left side. Some signals from the coaches. So we'll see what Connor Blumrick, the Texas A&M transfer, can do. He flips it over to the right side. It will be a handoff to Malachi Thomas. Thomas gains maybe 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah, Thomas has been that back that's been getting the majority of the carries in recent weeks for the Hokies. And to the point of Blumrick suffered a scary injury against Notre Dame multiple weeks ago for the Hokies. And now he's back in action, something that the Hokies might have not thought would happen this season.
Burmeister back in the game as a single receiver outright, 2 receivers to the left side. Waiting on the snap, Burmeister looks back towards the sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock, 9:26 left to go in the first quarter on the game clock. Thomas will go from the right to left side of Burmeister. Burmeister claps his hands, waits for the ball. Multiple flags will be thrown on the play as Burmeister was the first to point over to the Miami sideline. We'll see if this one goes against the Canes. And it's delay of game against the Hokies. I mentioned that play clock was ticking downwards. Burmeister pointed over to the Miami side of the line.
It looks like it's a delay. That's interesting because the Hokies moved forward on the field, it seemed like.
That is interesting. Before the snap, it'll be delay of game against Miami. I believe not getting set in time. That avoided Virginia Tech from snapping the ball. Burmeister claps his hands, will hand it off right up the middle. I believe that's Malachi Thomas working his way right up the gut of that Miami defensive line. It is Thomas. We'll see how much he gains on that play. On the 2nd down and 5.
It looks like he'll get 6 on what was actually a first down because that delay of game gave the Hokies an automatic first down there.
So it is a gain of 6 yards, make it 2nd down and 4 on the Miami 49-yard line. First trip into opponent territory for the Hokies. It'll be a run by Braxton Burmeister up the right side. Burmeister gains a ton of yards out to the 26-yard line. Everyone thought it was handed off to Malachi Thomas up the middle again, but it was Burmeister who took the ball over to the right side, fooled almost everyone on Miami.
Tremendous hole created by Caden Moore and Parker Clements on the right side of that offensive line. Big gaping hole for Braxton Burmeister to run through, and he took advantage of it. Now the Hokies are in business.
Blumrick is back in the game with Malachi Thomas standing to his immediate right. Hokies using Blumrick a lot on this second set of downs. Jet sweep will be a fake handoff. Blumrick takes it up the middle. Blumrick has some room, and the Hokies have been using a ground and pound style that has worked on this offensive drive.
Yeah, like we said, the rain is coming down here at Hard Rock Stadium, so the run game is going to be a big factor.
Very quick no-huddle offense for Virginia Tech. Seems like they tried to do the same exact thing. It was 2nd down and 1. That will move the sticks.
Yeah, it looks like Thomas got up the middle for a couple yards there and was able to break through that first level of defense. And now the Hokies have another first down, moving right down the field on this Miami defense, who had an impressive first possession against the Hokies.
Blumrick comes out of the game in favor of Burmeister. The Hokies have been working very quickly. Thomas will stand to his immediate left. Twins to the left side, a single receiver to the right. Burmeister looks over to the left side, has a man open, caught out of bounds. That will be Trey Turner. Gain of around 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and mid-range for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, a long throw by Braxton Burmeister for only a 5-yard gain. He threw that ball from about the right hash of the football field all the way over to the Virginia Tech sideline on the left nearest to us. So the Hokies have the ball now on about the 12-yard line, moving the ball down the field, and it's been a lot due to the run, but a good pass there on first down.
It'll be 2nd down and 6 on the play after a gain of 4 on the pass to Turner. Motion from left to right. It will be a handoff. No, a pass over to the left side. Has the man, I believe that was Tavion Robinson. No, that will be Malachi Thomas with the completed pass. A bit hard to tell as now working towards the east side of Hard Rock Stadium. Bit out of our line of sight, making it a bit difficult to tell who's who.
Yeah, number 34, Ryan Rangone, shed a block there. It looks like Luke Tenuta was trying to set up that screen for Malachi Thomas, but good block shed there by Rangone, to create the stop there.
Burmeister in the shotgun with Blackshear standing to his immediate left. Caleb Smith stands to the right side. We'll have a triple receiver and triangle formation to the right side. Play clock down to 5 seconds. Burmeister needs to get the snap off. He does with 2. Looks over the middle. Will decide to take it himself. Over to the left side. Still looking for the pass before turning on the Jets. Very close to the sticks for the first down marker. We'll see where they mark him. It was 3rd down and 7 on the play.
And it looks like this is going to be a 4th down. Pressure coming from the backside. Burmeister does a good job of escaping out of the pocket and was very close to the sticks there, but fell out of bounds right in front of him. So the Hokies will have a chance for a field goal here.
It is 4th down and 3. John Parker Romo comes out for the kick. Ball is at the 9-yard line, making this a 26-yard attempt. He was 2 for 3 last week against Duke, missing from 47. Kick for Romo is up and will split the uprights, and that's how the Hokies will get on the scoreboard with a John Parker Romo 26-yard field goal. It's Miami 7 and Virginia Tech 3. The Hokies respond, but the Hurricanes still have a 4-point lead, trying to add on to that by continuing their offensive dominance. When we return on 3304 Sports, Tyler Katz and Ryan Wilkes with you on the call. Back here from Hard Rock Stadium, Tyler Katz joined alongside Ryan Wilkes with you on the call. Miami 7, Virginia Tech 3. Ryan, Virginia Tech did a great job of responding with some points after a very good Miami drive to get a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, the Hokies got punched in the mouth to start this game. I mean, Miami, a dominant first defensive possession, and then they got the ball and drove right down the field on the Hokies. But the Hokies respond with a nice controlled drive. They get some points on the board, and now it's 7-3 Miami.
So John Parker Romo comes out to kick it off for the first time today. Back deep to receive for the Hurricanes will be Brashard Smith, the freshman out of Richmond Heights, Florida. Romo starts his trot at the 23, ends it at the 35. It will roll all the way to the end zone, taking it out for the Hurricanes. Will be Restrepo to the left side, has some room. Restrepo could take it far, gets to around midfield before finally being taken down. Xavier Restrepo on the big return for the Hurricanes. Second return for the Hurricanes that they get to right around midfield.
Yeah, the Hurricanes have done a good job, especially the special teams. Restrepo, and then earlier with the punt return, they have done a good job setting up their offense with good field position to start the drive, and certainly the Hurricanes offense appreciates starting near the 50-yard line their first two drives.
This one will be spotted right at midfield on the 50-yard line. First down marker is at the Virginia Tech 40. Van Dyke claps his hands, looks to the right side. It will be a screen pass to find Rambo. Rambo gains will fall and lose around 5 yards. So a play that just goes in the opposite direction that the Hurricanes wanted. That will go in the positive direction, make that second down and 5. Van Dyke will take the snap, looks towards the right side before flags come flying in. Apologize on the previous play. This angle makes it a little bit difficult to see which way the ball's going.
Yeah, it sure does, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on the Hurricanes, but this Hurricanes offense is really using Charleston Rambo in multiple different ways. They've gone down the field to Rambo, and they're also using him in kind of a tunnel screen situation. So it's interesting to see how the Hurricanes use their star on the outside.
False start on Miami's Zion Nelson will back them up 5 yards. They're back to midfield, second down and 10. So that pass damage is undone. Pass for Van Dyke, nearly intercepted. Dax Hollifield had a finger on it before it falls incomplete, intended for Mike Harley.
Good play by Dax there in the middle of the field. If he didn't get a hand on that ball, that was likely going to be a completion, and Harley would likely still be on his feet running towards the end zone. So good defense there by Dak, and now it's 3rd and long.
3rd down and long. Trips over to the left side. Van Dyke looks to the sideline for Rhett Lashley and Manny Diaz, the offensive coordinator and head coach of the Hurricanes, respectively. Play clock is down to 15 seconds. Game clock at 4:17. Hurricanes lead 7-3. Van Dyke looks over the middle, passes to the right side, has his man for a few yards before being taken down by Dax Hollifield. In on the catch, Jalen Knighton, the running back, making his 16th catch of the season.
The Canes are going to have just enough for a 1st down there. Good little angle route by Knighton, and he was able to get just enough for a Hurricanes 1st down.
It will be 1st down and 10 at the 39-yard line. Hurricanes back in Virginia Tech territory. Fake handoff over the middle has Harley at the 25-yard line, being met almost immediately by a couple Virginia Tech defenders, including Tay Daly and Shamari Connor. It'll be another 1st down for the Hurricanes right at the 25.
Yeah, Miami really doing a good job carving up the middle of this Hokies defense towards the middle of the field. They've done it multiple times on this drive.
Van Dyke will have 2 receivers bunched up on the left side. Same on the right. Some whistles are coming in. And yet another review. This one to see if he was at the 1st down marker. That would be big for the Hokies, as that was 3rd down and 10. If he's short of the 1st down marker, you either force Miami to kick with Andres Borregales, as that ball would be right around the 25-yard line. That's a very easy field goal for Borregales, who has a long of 55 on the season.
Tyler, actually looks like they did get the 1st down, but this they are actually reviewing for targeting. It does look like Tay Daly came across the middle there, and they sure do have a case here for targeting. Daly kind of lowered his head into a Mike Harley that was barreling towards the ground. So we'll see what they decide to call here.
My apologies. When the official came out for the review, he said the ruling on the field is a 1st down. Might have gotten a bit confused on that play, as Tay Daly, this could be a big loss for the Hokies if this comes back with the ruling confirmed of targeting. Daly, 59 tackles on the season, including 10 last week against Duke. The senior transfer out of Vanderbilt, should this come back, would miss the rest of this game and be back for the 1st half against UVA.
It'd certainly be a big loss for this Hokie secondary. I mean, these targeting calls are always so hard to establish what the real ruling is, and they're usually really subjective. So hopefully for the Hokies, Tay Daly can stay in this football game, but man, that sure looks like a targeting if I've ever seen one.
So it looks like Tay Daly will be removed from this game, and we were talking about it during the break that this is not really the start that J.C. Price wanted as head coach of the Hokies, letting Miami go down and score. They're marching down the field now. And it is come back as targeting. Tay Daly is ejected from the ballgame. But now for Price, you need to come up with answers defensively without Tay Daly in your secondary.
Yeah, now it looks like Keontae Jenkins will be that position that Tay Daly had, so he's going to have to step up for this defense because, like you said, Tay Daly is a big part of this defensive secondary and certainly hurts the Hokies losing him.
So with the penalty, it'll move it 15 yards downfield. Go to the 13-yard line, half the distance to the goal. Bubble pass over towards the end zone will be caught incomplete. Was in his hands, fell out. Great pass coverage by Jermaine Waller.
Certainly a 50-50 ball there. Rambo went up the same time as Waller, and it looked like Rambo had it for a second there, and at the last second, Waller kind of jarred it loose there. Great defensive play by the Hokies' key cornerback.
Rambo had it in his possession. Rambo has 5 receiving touchdowns so far this season. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 13. Van Dyke rolls out right side. Pass will fall incomplete. Big hit comes in late as it was intended for Jalen Knighton. Big pressure for the Hokies. Amari Barno was chasing down Van Dyke. Van Dyke, a good job to get rid of the football.
Yeah, he had Knighton open there, but the pressure from Amari Barno really rushed that play. And even if he did catch it, Alan Tisdale was bearing down on Knighton right there. Who knows how that play would have resulted, but now it's 3rd and 10. The Hokies have a huge chance to force a field goal.
Big defensive play for Virginia Tech. Van Dyke will take the snap, looks to his left side, under pressure yet again, rolls right, now looking right, has his man in Mallory, fights for around the 2-yard line. That should be enough for the first down, and that's exactly what you didn't want for the Hokies, is to find the big tight end in Will Mallory, 6'5", 245, making the catch. First down and goal, very quick snap, flag on the play, as it will be handoff to Knighton. A loss of maybe 2 on the play. A flag was thrown by the line judge in Brian Sikowski.
Offsides on Jermaine Waller there. Waller, a couple costly plays early on, getting burnt for the touchdown earlier in the game, and now the costly offsides penalty only moving the Hurricanes maybe a half a yard closer. But on that last play, Will Mallory has really been the difference so far. The touchdown catch and then the big 3rd down catch to move the Hurricanes inside the 5-yard line. He's been key for them so far.
So it'll be first down and inches, first down and goal. We'll go right up the middle with Knighton. Knighton breaks a tackle, dives into the end zone, touchdown Hurricanes. 13-3 Hurricanes, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Their offense cannot be stopped so far.
A lot of that's thanks to the Miami Hurricanes special teams, especially returning the football, set their offense up with short fields on both drives, both near the 50-yard line, and really letting Tyler Van Dyke go to work, and this offense has really done so thus far.
For Knighton, it's his 6th touchdown on the ground this season. Andres Borregales comes out for his 2nd extra point attempt so far. 13-3, Miami leads, 2:42 remaining in the first quarter. Waiting on the snap, Borregales kicks it. It will split the uprights. Borregales remains perfect on extra point attempts. It's Miami 14, Virginia Tech 3, as this hometown crowd here in Miami has something to cheer about often here in this first quarter.
They sure do. This offense has really came out and performed well for this Hurricanes crowd. And for the Hokies, how do you respond to this? They had a good response in the last drive, getting points on the board, but the defense hasn't done much to help out this Hokies offense early in this one. So the Hokies really need to figure something out in a response to the Hurricanes before the Hurricanes really run away with this one.
Penalty flag comes in late. It will go against the Hokies. Dax Hollifield flagged for running into the kicker, make that roughing the kicker. The extra point attempt is good, so it remains 14-3. 15 yards will be enforced on the kickoff, likely going to put Virginia Tech at the 25-yard line, as this one will be kicked off right at the middle of that U logo at midfield.
Yeah, that penalty by Dax Hollifield, it was costly, but it's more of a discipline thing. For Dax, that was a rough hit on the kicker. You never want to see that from the Hokies linebacker.
8 plays, 50 yards for the Hurricanes in 2 minutes and 24 seconds as Borregales puts it on the tee. He stands at the 40-yard line and will make the march on top of the Hurricanes logo and boot it away from the 50. It will be a squib kick that trickles out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Smart play for Miami, seeing if one member of the Hokies can get in the way. That becomes a live ball for the Hurricanes to try to pick up.
That was smart. I personally have never seen that before, where the ball's at the 50-yard line. They did do a squib kick. It almost deflected off one of the up men for the Hokies, and that could have been disastrous if you're a Hokie fan. That looked like it could have caused some problems, and it did actually deflect off a Hokie here or there, but it rolled to the back of the end zone harmlessly, and now the Hokies set up on the 25-yard line.
So it's 1st and 10 on the 25. 2 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Burmeister takes this high snap, will roll to the left. Will take it himself, gains right around 7 to 8 yards, will be short of the first down marker, but a good gain for Burmeister using his legs.
We're seeing a lot of design quarterback runs early on for the Hokies, mixing in both Blumrick and Burmeister, and this offensive line is doing the job so far.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 in the gain of 6. Burmeister back to pass, will go up the middle, has room to run, slides right around the 41-yard line, well enough for the first down. The Hokies get a new set.
Now, the Miami defensive line was creating pressure there and almost got home on Burmeister, but he slipped right through the crease there and was able to get across the 40-yard line.
Typically don't see Burmeister slide down too much, and in fact it will be Connor Blumrick coming in the game. Burmeister takes a spot on the sideline. every time that Connor Blumrick, the transfer out of Texas A&M, has been in the game, it has been a run. We'll see if that trend remains the same. And it is a handoff to Keyshawn King. He's met immediately. Huge defensive play for Miami. In on the stop is number 11 in Corey Flagg Jr.
Yeah, Flagg Jr. is a big part of this Miami defensive line. 48 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss on the season. Add one more right there. Great play up the middle by Corey Flagg Jr.
Flagg chose Miami despite an offer from Virginia Tech. Blumrick remains in the game with 3 receivers outright. Keyshawn King stands to his left side. Burmeister takes the snap, will roll to the left side. Blumrick takes it himself, gains maybe 5 yards on the 2nd down and 12. Just over a minute remaining in the first quarter. It will be a 3rd down and mid-range.
This is a massive 3rd down if you're the Hokies. You don't want to give the ball back to Miami right now. Their offense is really clicking. You want to get some points on the board here, and this is a huge 3rd and about 7.
It'll be 3rd and 7 from the Virginia Tech 43-yard line. Braxton Burmeister back in the game. 2 receivers in Trey Turner and Tavion Robinson outright. Caleb Smith to the left side. Raheem Blackshear stands to his immediate left. Now Smith in motion from left to right, trips down the right side and an empty left side. Burmeister looks over to the right side, throws right, will have his man fighting for the 1st down marker. Flag on the play by the back judge. Not enough for the 1st down. That was a catch by Key, and it will be holding against Virginia Tech. Backing them up, penalty will be declined, setting up 4th down. Unable to tell who made the catch on that play.
It looked like it was Trey Turner over on the right sideline, but Parker Clements held on that one, and the back judge saw it right away. And this will force another Hokies punt, and it'll give Miami the ball back. Miami looking to extend their lead here.
It was Trey Turner on the catch. It is 4th down and 4. Peter Moore ready to punt this one away for Virginia Tech. Back deep, Jacoby George had a good punt return. Game clock is stopped at 14 seconds. As now Moore will move over to the right side. An interesting shift from the left hash mark over to the right hash mark. A lot of movement on that offensive line for Virginia Tech. Peter Moore takes the snap under pressure, will get this one off clean, as this one will bounce at the 10-yard line, roll into the end zone for a harmless touchback, and Miami will set it for their 3rd drive of the game. They're 2 for 2 so far with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and this is maybe the best result you could ask for right now for the Hokies on a kick or a punt return. I mean, on the first punt, 29-yard return by Jacoby George, and on the first kick, a 50-yard return by Xavier Restrepo. So Miami starts with their worst field position of the night on their own 25-yard line. They've had very favorable field position to start this ball game.
That punt will take us to the end of the first quarter. It's the Miami Hurricanes 14, the Virginia Tech Hokies 3. A dominant showing for the home team so far. We'll be back for the 2nd quarter of play here on 3304 Sports. Miami leading 14-3. Back from Hard Rock Stadium, Virginia Tech desperately looking for answers, as they haven't been able to stop Miami on defense, and they haven't been able to move the ball on offense so far.
Despite one drive, the Hokies offense has pretty much stalled out in this one. A rough first drive with a 3-and-out, and they just kind of stalled out around the 40-yard line, and now this Miami offense gets the ball back with a 14-3 lead, and they have had no issues moving the football early in this one. This Hokies defense really needs to stop.
Miami will take it if they're on their 3rd drive. Their worst starting field position is the 20-yard line. After both got past the 40, it'll be a direct snap handoff by Tyler Van Dyke up to around the 20-yard line. Looks like this one will go for no gain.
Good stop by Dax Hollyfield right up the middle there. The ball went to 22. Thaddeus Franklin Jr. Good stop there by Dax right up the middle, stuffing that gap.
Franklin Jr. appeared with no rushing attempts against Florida State. He'll jump back in with another one here against Virginia Tech. Van Dyke rolls back, looks over the middle, has a man open and caught at midfield, taking down the Miami receiver, as this one will go to Jacoby George, the freshman out of Lauderhill.
Yeah, now the Canes are moving right at midfield, and Tyler Van Dyke's getting this offense rolling.
Van Dyke's at midfield, will roll to the right side, looks right now, looks left. Another throw over the middle. Heavy coverage. Surprise, we just don't see a flag, and there it is. It was heavy coverage by Chamari Connor. Looks like this one will be pass interference against Virginia Tech. That looked like a pretty obvious call.
It was certainly obvious. Two guys there holding right in the middle, and that was really, they're going to call this one Chamari Connor, but it really could have gone to either Chamari Connor, or I think that's Nasir Peoples down there. And Tyler Van Dyke is showing no hesitation to test his Hokies secondary, testing Jermaine Waller, succeeding. Supposed to be the Hokies' main cornerback, really getting tested, really getting burned early in this one.
Mike Harley, the intended receiver on the play that will push the ball to the Virginia Tech 33-yard line. 15-yard penalty enforced on the play. So right around that area of field goal range, looks like Miami is going to try to score on 3 consecutive possessions. Thrower to the right side will be complete. We'll find Rambo. Rambo gains around 10 yards fighting for the first down marker, and it will move the sticks. Another first down for the Hurricanes.
Tyler Van Dyke's carving up this defense so far. Does it again. Another completion to Charleston Rambo.
Joins over to the right side for Tyler Van Dyke as a single receiver out left. Well, in Keyshawn Smith. Van Dyke backs up 14-3. Miami with 13:30 remaining in the second quarter. First down and 10 at around the 17-yard line. Van Dyke claps his hands, takes the snap. It will be a handoff up the middle, but no, Van Dyke keeps it himself. Will slip and fall. Chamari Connor in on the tackle right around the 16-yard line. So it'll be a gain of just 1 on the play. Second down and 9.
An interesting play call there by Brett Lashley, someone that's not really all that mobile. The quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, keeping it on what looked like a read option there, and he was just swallowed up right away.
Miami, after switching sides at the start of the second quarter, now working towards the eastern end zone. Van Dyke will have 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Rolls out to the right side, has a man wide open yet again, fighting for the end zone, dives at the 1-yard line, loses the football. That's going to be Brashard Smith on the catch for Miami.
An athletic play by Smith. Great recognition by Tyler Van Dyke. That blitz came right on the backside, got the ball away right at the last second, and he was able to get it down to Branch right near the goal line there.
Virginia Tech unable to stop Miami so far. Knighton will take the handoff. He's stuffed at the 4-yard line. In on the tackle for Virginia Tech will be Keyshawn Artis.
Great tackle for loss there by Artis, stuffing up what was seemingly the same play that Miami scored on the other side of the field on their last drive. Stuffed that one up. 2nd and 3 now from the 3-yard line.
Second down and goal, just under 12 to play here in the second quarter. Miami lines up in a bunch formation with a single receiver out wide to the right side. Van Dyke takes the snap. Will hand it off up the middle for Knighton. Knighton gets met by a couple Hokie tacklers. Will be pushed into the end zone, waiting for a signal. Touchdown Miami! He was stopped at the 2-yard line. The Miami offensive line gave him the extra shove, and it's 20-3 Miami. They cannot be stopped on offense.
2 or 3 Hokies had their chance in him right there and just couldn't bring him down. And by the time he was in that pile right there, the offensive line just took the initiative to shove him right in the end zone, and Miami expands this lead that was already ballooning up.
20-3, Miami dominating Virginia Tech in their first game without head coach Justin Fuente after the team mutually parted ways with him this past week. Andres Borregales comes on to kick the extra point for Miami. Again, a 20-3 lead. Does give some reminders of the last time these two teams faced off at Hard Rock Stadium, as this one splits the uprights. It's Miami 21, Virginia Tech 3, 11:35 left in the second quarter. Now, Ryan, I do want to bring up that last time that Miami and Virginia Tech faced off here from Hard Rock Stadium. Virginia Tech built up a 28-0 lead in the first half that was cut by a Hail Mary touchdown to head into the locker room. But it seemed like a blowout in favor of Virginia Tech. Miami crawled back, eventually tied the game at 35 apiece. Virginia Tech did come out with the win, but it does have some deja vu of one team dominating in the first half.
Yeah, when this one, the narratives basically flip-flopped. The story of that game was turnovers and defense by the Virginia Tech Hokies. This game, there's a lack of defense for the Hokies, unable to come anywhere near stopping this Miami offense. And in that game, a couple years ago, Virginia Tech put together stops on defense and points on offense, and tonight they just haven't been able to get either early on.
Miami looking dominant so far. We'll take a short break here on 3304 Sports. 11:35 left in the first half. Miami 21, Virginia Tech 3. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. Miami 21, Virginia Tech 3. Miami scoring on all three drives so far. They'll hand it back to Virginia Tech with a kickoff coming from Andres Borregales. Back deep to receive for Virginia Tech, Keyshawn King. Miami trying to pump up the crowd. Maybe around 35 to 50% capacity here from Hard Rock Stadium. A lot of teal seats showing their way through. There goes the kickoff as King will let this one roll into the end zone, landing right to the left of that first eye in Miami on the east end zone.
This is the biggest drive of the game for this Hokies offense. I mean, the lead is already 21-3 for Miami. You don't want it going anywhere more than that because Hokies are in a deep hole now, and they've really got to start digging their way out of it. And that last drive for Miami, 7 plays, 80 yards in just 3.5 minutes. Not what you wanted to see from your defense after the punt gave Miami their worst field position of the evening.
We talked about the defense. Their Virginia Tech defense has held opponents to less than or equal to 17 points for 3 straight games, the first time since 2013. As Burmeister back to pass will roll to the left side, takes it himself, gains maybe 4 yards before being stopped at the 29. But back on that defensive note, they've allowed 21 points in just a little over a quarter.
This Miami offense has came out firing, and Tyler Van Dyke has not been afraid to test his Hokie secondary, and he has done so with a ton of success early in this one.
Burmeister in the game, stands in the shotgun, looks over to his right side where he has 2 receivers. Play clock down to 10, looks to the left side, has his receiver there, fighting for the first down marker. Looks like he's just able to get there. Raheem Blackshear in on the catch for the Hokies for the first down.
A big play by Raheem Blackshear there. It was an important play there for the Hokies to get that first down. Good job by Raheem Blackshear.
So first down and 10 for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech will slow things down, go back in the huddle. You don't see too many huddles at any level anymore, as it will be Connor Blumrick back in the game with Blackshear standing to his immediate left. Man in motion as Blumrick takes the snap. Looks to his right side, will throw the football. Will fall incomplete. Miami, just in case this one was ruled a fumble and a backward pass, dives on it, will be ruled incomplete as Blumrick's first passing attempt of the game goes awry.
It's unusual. The Hokies haven't really thrown Connor Blumrick that much. He hasn't thrown the ball much this year, and interesting to see them use him that way.
Virginia Tech setting up yet again. Blumrick still in the game. This time he rolls to the left side, takes the ball himself, fights for the first down marker, gains a little over 10 yards, and that's what Hokie fans are more used to seeing Connor Blumrick do with the football.
And that's what he's good at. He's proven multiple times, especially in this game, that he is a threat running the football, and it's interesting that we're seeing him back because, like you said earlier, Tyler, that injury he had in the Notre Dame game was scary. He was ruled out indefinitely. We didn't know, or Hokie fans didn't know if they would see him back this season, but he is back in this lineup.
Burmeister will check back in the game. 3 receivers over to the right side, 1 to the left. Takes the snap, looks to the right side. Screen pass will go well over the head of Tavion Robinson and fall incomplete. Second down and 10. Robinson would have needed to have been around 12 feet tall to haul that one in.
Gilbert Frierson came screaming off the edge at Braxton Burmeister, and I'm pretty sure that's what threw him off and caused him to kind of float that one, which luckily it was not picked off. Number 24, Cody Brown, or Cameron Kinchins, had a chance at that one.
Takes the snap on 2nd and 10. Bullet pass over the middle will be caught. It's Tavion Robinson at the 35-yard line. He'll finally be tripped up. First big play for this Virginia Tech offense, making the tackle for Miami, Marcus Clark, the freshman cornerback. Immediate snap on the hurry-up offense, fighting for a few extra yards, and eventually being stopped will be Malachi Thomas, second down and short.
Great play by Burmeister on that last one, doing his best Tyler Van Dyke impression. A play that Miami has succeeded on quite a bit. Tavion Robinson finds himself open across the middle, dances for multiple yards after the catch, and the Hokies are moving down near the 20-yard line.
2nd down and 5. Ball will be at the Miami 28-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. Burmeister drawing up a play, looks to the left side, will take off after being under pressure, gets to the 25, breaks a tackle at the 20, gets to the 10-yard line, and will finally be stopped. Burmeister doing a great job of escaping pressure and turning it into a positive gain. 1st and goal, Virginia Tech.
That's the elusiveness that Braxton Burmeister has shown off all season, breaking a couple arm tackles there, cutting across the middle, and dancing right across the 10-yard line, and now the Hokies are inside the 10 on a great run by Braxton Burmeister.
Ball will be at the 8-yard line. So 1st down and goal. Connor Blumrick back in the game. Virginia Tech working towards the west end zone. Takes a snap, will hand things off. No, now Blumrick back to pass under pressure. Gets rid of it. Falls incomplete, out of bounds. It'll go 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Great job by Miami by putting Blumrick under pressure when he goes back to pass.
The Hokies have made Connor Blumrick throw twice on this drive. Again, he's a very run-dominant quarterback. It's interesting to see the Hokies use him to throw the football in this game.
Listed as the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart behind Braxton Burmeister and Knox Kadum. Blumrick remains in the game for 2nd and goal. 2 receivers to the left side, man in motion. Fakes the jet sweep as Blumrick goes up the middle with it himself. Gains maybe a yard or 2 that will set up 3rd and long on the 3rd and goal opportunity.
And I think the question becomes now, if you don't convert this 3rd down, if you're the Hokies, do you go for it? Is this a go-for-it scenario? Is this 4-down territory? And I think the answer is yes for Virginia Tech.
We'll see what the call is if they cannot convert on this 3rd and goal. 3rd and 6 as the hometown supporters get riled up for a 3rd down play. 3 receivers out to the left side. It will be Burmeister back in the game. Takes the snap, looks left side. To the corner of the end zone, a lot of contact, will fall incomplete. Virginia Tech pleading for the flag. And it's going to be caught for a touchdown. I'm not even sure what happened there. It's caught by Trey Turner, pinned between his arm and the ground. This one was loose as he falls out of bounds. Looks like this one's going to be under review. And it will be reviewed. It was a very close play for Trey Turner. Right now, as it stands, that's a touchdown for the Hokies.
Tyler, I think this is a situation from the first few looks we've had at it here in Hard Rock Stadium. This might be a situation where the call on the field might have to stand. It's hard to get a glimpse of that football. 2 bodies pressed up against each other. Is there enough there to overturn it? Do I think Trey Turner caught it? No, but there's not that much there to overturn that call.
DJ Ivey in on the coverage for Miami. Either way, that was a lot of contact by Ivey, as that one was pushed into Turner's midsection right around his waist. Bobbles it a bit before heading out of bounds. Now the question is, was he in possession of the football before he went out of bounds?
Now, if the ruling on the field was incomplete, I think that would have to stand. But now that the ruling on the field is a touchdown, it looked like he pinned that ball against his leg. Now the question is that ball moving? But with the cornerback bearing down on Trey Turner, it's hard to tell what was happening with that football going to the ground.
A very confusing sequence of events as it looked like it fell incomplete with a lot of coverage by DJ Ivey. And it looked like Virginia Tech was looking for the pass interference call, and then the official put his arms up for a touchdown. So nobody really knew what was going on when Trey Turner came down with that football.
Yeah, and this call could really go either way. But Tyler, like you said, that was a ton of contact for Miami there. Surprised that there was no flag, but there's always a lot of hand fighting, and that's a slowed down.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown, Trey Turner and Virginia Tech. The boos rain down from the home supporters, but Virginia Tech, a very well needed for the Hokies touchdown that puts them down 21-9, potentially 10, pending the extra point by John Parker Romo. Romo this season has made 28 extra points in his first season as the place kicker, with the loss of Brian Johnson this past offseason. Snap, hold, kick is up and will split the uprights. John Parker Romo 29 for 29 on extra points. It's Miami 21, Virginia Tech 10. 7 minutes 43 seconds remain in the second quarter. And Ryan, that was a touchdown drive for Virginia Tech that if they had not gotten it, the morale might have been too low to come back from.
Yeah, that was a huge drive by the Hokies. Really important to get points there, especially a touchdown. And that play by Trey Turner, regardless whether they catch or not, what an athletic play. Trey Turner just turning his body all the way back to his right side, getting enough on that ball to pin it to his leg and secure the touchdown catch. The Hokies are back in this one. As shaky as the start has been for this defense, the defense really has a chance to recover some momentum for their offense.
7:43 left in the first half. Miami 21, Virginia Tech 10. Tyler Katz alongside Ryan Wilkes on the call for 3304 Sports. We'll be right back from Hard Rock Stadium. Back here from Hard Rock Stadium, Tyler Katz joined alongside Ryan Wilkes on the call for 3304 Sports. Virginia Tech just scoring a touchdown off a 6-yard touchdown catch by Trey Turner. Give the ball back to Miami, where Tyler Van Dyke and company have scored 3 touchdowns on 3 drives.
The offense for the Hokies just did their job, and now it's the defense's job to stop Tyler Van Dyke, who has been unstoppable so far. 10 for 13, 160 yards, and a touchdown. Has just been carving up this Virginia Tech secondary that has been pretty good all year for the Hokies. And Van Dyke has just done his job so far in getting the Hurricanes points, but now that the focus shifts to the Hokies defense, and they need to get a stop here.
John Parker Romo puts it on the tee for the second time tonight, ready to boot this one away. Restrepo, who had the long return, is back deep for the Hurricanes. This one will roll into the end zone on the upper acute angle arch of the first M in Miami, as Virginia Tech will come towards the Miami section behind the end zone and try to hype them up as they do back at Lane Stadium. Miami fans are not interested in entertaining them.
No, Miami fans were not having any of that. Saw multiple fans kind of yelling at John Parker Romo there, but this defense trots back on the field. They haven't done it so far in terms of stopping this offense, but this is a huge opportunity here for this defense to get a stop and shift some momentum, but also for Miami just to keep that arm's length away from the Hokies.
So Miami and Tyler Van Dyke come back out onto the field. 3 receivers on the left side, man in motion, fakes the jet sweep, rolls over to the right side. Deep pass for Miami, looking long, has his man. It's going to be Rashard Smith yet again. 10, touchdown, could not be caught. 1 play, touchdown Miami. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. This Virginia Tech defense has no answers.
And that's as easy as it gets, and that's the complete opposite of what we were just talking about. But Tyler Van Dyke, what a play from the freshman. Now he's up 11 to 14 for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just tremendous vision, floating the ball right over the head of Shamari Connor and Jermaine Waller in double coverage. Just a tremendous job by the freshman. And Brashard Smith was off to the races.
It'll be Smith's second touchdown catch of the season. Just had 2 receptions for 7 yards last week against Florida State. As the extra point is good, 28 to 10, Miami back in front by dominant fashion. For Miami, taking a look at the last time they won here at Hard Rock Stadium against Virginia Tech back in 2017, that was the final score. Miami 28, Virginia Tech 10. For Virginia Tech, their offense has slowly begun to figure it out, but if their defense cannot make adjustments, what their offense does doesn't matter.
They haven't been able to put the two together so far, and that's just a story of this ball game. The offense started, like you said, starting to get their feet under them, but it doesn't help in this Miami offense is just keeping arm's length away from the Virginia Tech Hokies, and Tyler Van Dyke did exactly what I talked about doing in this drive, and that's putting more points on the board. He did it in a hurry.
Van Dyke now 11 for 14, 235 passing yards in the first half with 2 touchdowns. Van Dyke now up to 21 touchdowns through the air this season, despite not playing in a game until that, I believe it was the Michigan State game for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, he's looked tremendous. For a true freshman, Tyler Van Dyke has been absolutely electric. Even though he started out a little slow, he's really found his way back into this Miami Hurricane offense. His season high against Pittsburgh, he was 32 for 42, 426 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. It's looking like he's getting ready to replicate a similar performance to that. I mean, he already has over half of that in the first half of this ball game. So Tyler Van Dyke really doing the job here against the Hokies, and his receivers are helping him out too. Charleston Rainbow, and right there, Brashard Smith.
Van Dyke, earlier this season, 3 weeks in a row, won the ACC Rookie of the Week award, the first person to receive 3 straight Rookie of the Week award honors since back in 2013, when Jameis Winston of the Florida State Seminoles did it. So Miami puts the ball back on the tee, ready to put this one back into the hands of the Hokies a lot quicker than I think the Hokies wanted it to.
Definitely, you can't really, or they didn't really give their offense any break there. Their offense just came off the field, and like 5 minutes later, now they're coming back onto the field.
Not giving the offense too much time to rest as Andres Borregales back out to boot this one away. Ball is back at the 35-yard line. Borregales boots this one away. King will let this one roll. No, he decides to take it himself, but I believe he did call for a fair catch at the 1-yard line. And a reminder, the new rules of college football is a fair catch inside the 25. The ball goes out to the 25. So it will be a touchback. So for Keyshawn King, thought, I'll let this one roll out of the end zone, changed his mind, but he had already called for the fair catch.
Yeah, by then it was too late. He had already had his fist out, and then he kind of looked to fair catch it, but then he realized that kick was near the goal line and it was returnable, but it was far too late by then.
One play, 75 yards, and Brashard Smith got down the field in just 10 seconds for the Hurricanes. Screenplay will go to Gallo. Gallo gets to around the 30-yard line before being dragged down. Gallo, the main receiving tight end. However, Drake Dooley is his first on the depth chart. Gallo making more receptions so far on the year. He gets his first of the game for 6 yards.
Good little screen pass there. Burmeister to Gallo sets up a manageable 2nd and 4.
Trips out to the left side for Braxton Burmeister. 2nd and 4. 7:07 left in the first half. Over the middle, looking deep. Double coverage caught by Trey Turner. Hauls it in yet again. Turner continues to make athletic plays for the Hokies, but now a big red flag for Virginia Tech. Trey Turner slow to get up.
Yeah, he wasn't able to make the trip with the Hokies due to an injury that was respiratory related, and that might be what got irritated right there. A hit in the midsection as Trey Turner caught that football might have caused an injury there. Hard to see Trey go down like that, but nonetheless a great catch over the middle of the field. Braxton Burmeister giving his receiver a chance to make a play, and Trey Turner did exactly that.
Trey Turner did not fly down with the team. He had to drive down due to an injury to his respiratory system. They were worried that it would affect him had he gone on the team plane with the rest of the Virginia Tech Hokies side. Had a 29-yard reception against Duke. Seemed to have a bigger role today. He is still down at around the 38-yard line. We'll let him get checked out by athletic trainers for Virginia Tech. We'll step aside. 28-10, Miami, Virginia Tech trying to score. 7:01 left in the first half. We'll be back on 3304 Sports. Back here from Hard Rock Stadium, 28-10, Miami dominating Virginia Tech so far. However, Virginia Tech marching down the field at the 38-yard line currently. As we take a look around the country at some top 25 matchups, a few surprises here and there. Taking a look at the final scores so far, big game that Virginia Tech was looking at, Pitt, number 18, defeating Virginia 48-38. Michigan defeating Maryland 59-18. Wisconsin defeating Nebraska by just 7, 35-28. Number 5, Cincinnati dominates SMU 48-14, and number 2 Alabama only winning by 7 to number 21 Arkansas. other than that, what you would expect around the country.
Yeah, pretty run-of-the-mill day in the top 25, but some exciting games nonetheless.
Big thing to note as Burmeister about to take the snap, 2 receivers on each side of him. Number 4, Ohio State completely destroying number 7, Michigan State, as this will be a handoff to the left side by Keyshawn King. Gets to around the 39-yard line, will lose a yard, setting up 2nd down and 11. 56-7, Ohio State dominates Michigan State, almost cementing Ohio State a spot in the college football playoff.
Definitely, and Ohio State looked the part today. I mean, they were up, seemed like a 49-0 at halftime. They only scored 7 points in the second half, but likely due to taking their starters out. But they looked fantastic today, and certainly looked like a team that belongs in the top 4.
3 receivers on the right side for Burmeister and Virginia Tech. Will be yet another handoff, couple of handoffs, and now Tavion Robinson looks to throw before being thrown out of bounds at the 40-yard line into the Miami bench. Will set up 3rd down and long, an interesting drawn-up play by Virginia Tech and J.C. Price.
Great discipline, though, by the Miami defense not to bite on that. The trickery by the Hokies, looking down the field, Tavion Robinson looking to air it out. Nothing there, and the Miami defense ran him out of bounds for no gain on the play.
He'll actually be ruled as losing a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 12 on the 40-yard line, just outside of John Parker Romo's field goal range. Should they be stopped at this yard marker, it would be a 57-yard attempt. 3 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. Burmeister takes a snap, looks to the right side, has a man open, elects to look to the left side, will be caught and immediately met. Big contact as making the catch for Virginia Tech will be Jalen Jones. Haven't heard his name too much. The freshman wide receiver will gain the 1st down, an athletic play by both quarterback and receiver, as he was met with a big hit by Gilbert Frierson, the striker.
What a catch over the middle by Jones. Extremely athletic play there by the freshman.
4 receivers on the right side. Will be a pass to Tavion Robinson, gains around 5, is thrown backwards, ball pops out, was called down by forward progress being stopped, but a athletic play by Miami. Corey Flagg Jr. popping that ball out, but again, forward progress was stopped. It will be a gain of 5, despite Tavion Robinson being drawn back maybe 10 yards behind the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, forward progress was called, and luckily, because Tavion Robinson had lost that football.
Burmeister will have 2 receivers out to the left side. Will decide to take it himself, rolls to the right. Gallo just over his head, falls incomplete, and Miami fans are groaning because that one almost ended up in the hands of DJ Ivey for an interception.
It looked like Burmeister was looking for Caleb Smith there on the wheel route, and if he would have caught that ball, I think it would have been an illegal touching call because Caleb Smith had danced out of bounds due to Ivey's contact and then came back inbounds. But almost a disastrous play for this Hokies offense. Now, another 3rd down on the 20-yard line. Again, this is 3rd and 5. Is this 4-down territory? Do you not get this 1st down?
3rd down and 5, 2 receivers to the left side, triangle formation of receivers on the right side. Claps his hands, doesn't receive the ball as Burmeister. Play clock down to 6, takes the snap, looks to the right side, will take it up the middle, gets to the 20-yard line, spins, and will be stopped shy of the 1st down, maybe gains 1. It will be 4th down and 4, and now your question will be answered of is this 4-down territory, or do the Hokies take the points? And it looks like they will roll out the field goal unit.
It's an interesting decision. I get the need for points, but how much could just 3 points really do you in this situation? You're already down 18 points. I guess it makes it a 2-score game, but nonetheless, you really wanted 7 in that position, and the Hokies almost had it.
Still early in the ball game. Game clock at 3 minutes and 43 seconds. John Parker Romo puts the ball, or waits for the ball, hold by Peter Moore. Kick is up. The field goal is good from the 19-yard line. His 2nd consecutive, that would be a 36-yard field goal that John Parker Romo hits. Make it Miami 28, Virginia Tech 13. And now the rain is heavily coming down. A lot of fans in the stands are now heading towards the concourse to take refuge from the storm.
It's certainly coming down here, Tyler. It's been ominous throughout the day here in Miami. Nonetheless, the rain is coming down. These 2 teams are still fighting hard out on this football field.
No lightning in the area, so of course we play on.
The stands are clearing out in droves. It looks like a lot of fans are going to take cover for a little bit here as we near halftime.
So Virginia Tech and Sean Parker-Romo puts this one on the tee. Back deep to receive is Restrepo, as well as Brashard Smith, the touchdown receiver on the last Miami drive. Will be the 5th drive of the ballgame for the Miami Hurricanes, looking for their 5th touchdown. Toe meets leather as Romo boots this one away. Will roll into the end zone, landing in the first leg of the first M of Miami in the end zone. And again, Virginia Tech trying to hype up the crowd of just Miami fans who are desperately trying to put on ponchos at this point.
Yeah, the hype action has not worked for Parker-Romo and the rest of the special teams platoon in this game, but the question raises again, can the Hokies get a stop? Miami's been 4 for 4 in this first half. They're looking to go 5 for 5 and extend their lead to over 20 points going into halftime. The Hokies need a stop here going into half because Miami does get the ball back to start the second half.
So Miami does start their drive at the 25, 3:33 on the clock. Tyler Van Dyke will have 2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left before calling over Knighton right behind him. We'll hand it off to Knighton. Knighton gets stuffed about 5 yards into his carry. In on the tackle for Virginia Tech will be Keyshawn Artis, the redshirt sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the spot where the ball really is. It looks like he gained about 4 from this angle, but it looked like he was stuffed maybe about 2 yards in front of the sticks. But again, it is hard to tell here from this angle here at Hard Rock Stadium.
With the rain, Miami's green uniforms quickly turning even darker, almost into a shade of black, with the rain dampening their uniforms. Throw over to the right side will be tipped and fall incomplete. Great pass coverage by Jermaine Waller to come in and get that pass breakup.
Jermaine Waller missed out on a pick 6 right here. He, right off the hands, would have taken that one right to the house untouched, but again, the rain playing a factor. That ball is slippery, and great pass defense there, but nonetheless could have been even more for the Hokies.
Waller, that will be his 4th pass breakup of the season. It'll be 3rd down and 7, big play for the Virginia Tech defense. Knighton is stopped behind the line, and Virginia Tech's defense finally has something to get fired up about, as that's going to be Artis yet again.
Keyshawn Artis early in this one making his presence felt for the Hokies in this defense, and this is what you need if you're the Virginia Tech Hokies nearing the end of the half. They're going to use their first timeout of the half with 2:48 remaining. You get the ball back. Your offense has been moving the ball exactly what the doctor ordered.
And not only that, J.C. Price, in my opinion, doing the smart thing by calling a timeout here. You stop 40 more seconds from milking off the play clock. With that clock running, it is 4th down and 11. It will bring on Lou Headley, the Australian Miami punter, for the first time today. Virginia Tech now has a chance to go onto the field, drive down with 2 timeouts and 2 minutes and 48 seconds of game clock, and potentially make this a 1-score game with a touchdown.
That would be the perfect scenario if you're the Hokies, given how this game has gone so far. This is the first stop of the night on defense for the Hokies, and this is really the best thing you could ask for in this scenario. You're getting the ball back, over 2 minutes and a half to go, and you've got 2 timeouts. Exactly what you want for the Hokies and J.C. Price.
Rain starting to make some puddles in the grandstands here at Hard Rock Stadium. Lou Headley punts it away from around the 11-yard line. Tavion Robinson back to return. Is met, fumbled, muffed punt, recovered at the 29-yard line. Multiple flags will come in. I believe this is going to be kick-catch interference if Robinson had called for the fair catch.
And that's going to give the Hokies even better field position. Robinson caught that ball around the 30-yard line, and that is going to be the call. And now the Hokies really have a golden opportunity to cut into this deficit going into halftime.
It is, in fact, kick-catch interference. A big penalty against Miami will give Virginia Tech the advantage, and this is the hardest we've now seen the rain come down all night. And a time where you don't want to use ground and pound because you want to conserve clock.
Definitely, and definitely having 2 timeouts really helps, and it looks like Blumrick is in at quarterback to start this drive, which gives away the Hokies' game plan a little bit here.
Crowd has drastically cleared out, as this one will be a handoff to the left side. No, it's a direct snap to Connor Blumrick. Gains around 2 yards. It will be 2nd down and long. Clock is rolling, 2:30 and counting down.
Yeah, good run there by Blumrick for a couple yards, but Corey Flack Jr. staying home on that read option and made a big stop, setting up a 2nd and 8.
2nd down and 8 at the Virginia Tech 47. Will be a jet sweep handoff faked handoff as Blumrick takes it yet again up the middle. Will fight into Miami territory. It will be 3rd down and short. Clock continues to run at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, ticking downwards.
Blumrick's getting this offense moving quickly.
Hurry up offense will be a handoff up the middle to Malachi Thomas. No, yet again another quarterback keeper by Connor Blumrick will be enough for the 1st down. That is 3 fakes in a row that Blumrick has kept.
And Blumrick did his job, coming in there, getting 10 yards for the Hokies and giving them a 1st down, moving down the field now inside the 40-yard line. The Hokies have about a minute and 45 with a running clock.
It will be Burmeister back in the game. 2 receivers on either side of him, looking to pass in the rain, under pressure, and will be taken down in Miami territory. Big sack for the Miami Hurricanes. In on the stop for the Canes is going to be Ryan Rangone, the redshirt sophomore linebacker. Big sack.
The Hokies just called their 2nd timeout. Rangone coming in seemingly untouched. The linebacker came up from his position and made the play on Braxton Burmeister, putting the Hokies back near the 50-yard line, kind of combating some of that momentum that the Hokies were building up. And now 1 timeout remaining, about a minute and a half left in this first half, excuse me. It's going to be 2nd and 18, so the Hokies have some ground to make up here.
Not only that, but it's from the 50-yard line, so you are well out of field goal range. You mentioned field goals. Virginia Tech has 3 of them so far today. 2 of them so far today.
Yeah, John Parker Romo, a big part of why the Hokies are still in this ball game. Without John Parker Romo, the Hokies are in a much worse position. So the Hokies are really grateful for John Parker Romo and his contributions, but they're looking to add 6 here late in this first half.
2 field goals by Romo so far today, both good from 25 and 36. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now looking under pressure yet again. Will dump it off to Raheem Blackshear, gets to the 50-yard line. Runs out of bounds at the 42. Clock will stop at 1:23 on the clock. It will be 3rd down and a mile for Virginia Tech, but something that is just another step towards field goal territory to at least put some points on the scoreboard before the half. It will be 3rd down and 10 from the Miami 42. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Burmeister claps his hands again. Clock stopped at a minute 23. Burmeister looks back towards the sideline. Play clock is down to 12 seconds. Miami 28, Virginia Tech 13. Burmeister takes a snap, rolls to the right side, looks to be wanting to throw long, and finally does, but will go well out of bounds intended for Tavion Robinson. It will be 4th down and 10 from the 42, well out of field goal range for Virginia Tech.
And now Peter Moore getting ready to punt this one away. You're Miami. You've got a minute 17 and 3 timeouts. You'd have to think Miami's looking for the kill here.
Would not make sense to do it here by a strategic standpoint, but Peter Moore has had a fake punt attempt earlier this season. It was unsuccessful. That was against the FCS Richmond Spiders.
That one was gloriously unsuccessful.
So back deep to receive for Miami will be Jacoby George. Moore punts this one away, end over end it goes, and more of a spiral for Virginia Tech. Tried to have a man there to pin it at the 1-yard line, but it goes well into the Miami end zone. For a touchback, this one will go out to the 20-yard line. A minute and 11 seconds on the clock for the Hurricanes with all 3 timeouts. And now those 2 timeouts that J.C. Price called for Virginia Tech are coming back to actually help the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and that Peter Moore punt only netting about 22 yards there from the 42 down to the 20. So Miami back in business. They really haven't had many issues moving the football despite that last drive. Their only misstep in the offensive game plan so far. The Hurricanes looking to maybe add more points here in what is already a fairly comfortable lead in this game.
Interesting formation as it looks like they will just kneel the clock out, and they will, as multiple boos come down from the hometown crowd thinking you have over a minute of clock with 3 timeouts. Why are you running the clock out?
That certainly is what a lot of Miami fans here are thinking, and we are too up here in the booth. That is certainly a puzzling strategy. You got 3 timeouts, use them or lose them here if you're Manny Diaz and the Hurricanes. And if you don't step on the Hokies' throat here, you're leaving the door open in the second half. It's only a 2-score game, and Miami is getting the ball back. That might be part of the reason Manny Diaz is using this this strategy, but nonetheless, a a bit of a puzzling call here by Diaz.
Will take yet another knee as both teams will now head into the locker room. Miami, despite leading by 15 points, will be booed by their home supporters as they head into the locker room.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is due to Manny Diaz's decision to take the knees at the end of the half, and I don't think he'd be doing that if Miami did not get the ball after halftime, but nonetheless, they had chances to add some points there, and they just decided not to take it.
Virginia Tech trailing by 15. It is still technically a two-score ball game. And I think most importantly for Virginia Tech is on that last defensive possession, you proved that you could stop the Miami Hurricanes.
And it wasn't a sure thing if that was possible. I mean, Miami was moving the ball nonstop to start this ball game, 4 for 4 on their first 4 opening drives. Finally got stopped on their 5th, but nonetheless, the Hokies go in with a little bit of defensive momentum. They know they can do it now, and now you go in the second half. A stop to start the second half, I wouldn't say is do or die, but it certainly would help.
So 28-13, Miami leading the Hokies as we head to the halftime break. We'll take a short break here from Hard Rock Stadium and be back for halftime coverage. And when we come back for the second half, Ryan Wilkes takes over on play-by-play duties. It's the Hurricanes and the Hokies here on 3304 Sports. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here in Coral Gables, Florida, where the Miami Hurricanes lead their visiting Virginia Tech Hokies 28-13 after one half of play. Virginia Tech was thoroughly outplayed in that first half, Tyler. Again, I'm Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports. And Virginia Tech was thoroughly outplayed in that first half in pretty much every aspect of the game, but they're still in this one.
Yeah, it's only a 15-point game, but a lot of that, as we were mentioning it during the halftime break off air, is it's going to be contingent upon what Miami does with that first drive. We take a look at Miami's drives. They had 6 drives in that first half. Their first 4 went for a touchdown, their 5th went for a punt, and their 6th drive shouldn't even really count, as it was Tyler Van Dyke kneeling out the clock for the end of the half. So really, 4 out of 5 drives went for touchdowns. Now, the silver lining for Virginia Tech is that last 5th drive, the most recent true drive, was a 3-and-out. So for Virginia Tech, that's really what you have to look for, in that we know how to stop this offense now. Let's come out of the locker room with a new energy, some halftime pep talks from the coaching staff, and first game interim head coach J.C. Price of coming out and stopping Miami. And if you do that, go down the field and score, let's just say, a touchdown, that's now an 8-point game, 28-20.
Now, a couple noticeable players out for Virginia Tech coming in the second half. Obviously, Tay Daly with the targeting penalty early in the first half, causing him to miss the rest of this football game. But someone that we might have not expected to see out in this one, Trey Turner, after coming up, shaken up in the first half, has walked out in the second half with no pads on.
Yeah, it's a really, really big loss for the Hokies, especially when only 1 touchdown for the Hokies so far. It was a reception to Trey Turner. We've seen him make a lot of athletic plays so far today, and not only that, but more of a symbolic thing for Virginia Tech, losing Beamer's 25 on the field.
John Parker Romo tees it up for this second half. Again, Miami leads the Hokies 28-13 here in Hard Rock Stadium. John Parker Romo tees it up for the Hokies, and the Red Hat walks off the field. Xavier Restrepo back to return for the Hurricanes, as well as Brashard Smith. Romo gets the kick away, toe against the leather, short kick. Restrepo take it right at the goal line. He takes it out across the 10, across the 15. Restrepo gets across the 20 and to the 25, right where the Canes would have gotten it if he would have taken it for a touchback.
Virginia Tech did a good job there of just squeezing Restrepo to the sideline. Ended up running into a host of Virginia Tech tacklers and ended up making the play out to the 24-yard line. Restrepo would have been better off letting that one roll through the end zone.
Tyler Van Dyke trots back out onto the field after an 11 for 15 first half, where he had 235 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air, along with 75 yards on a connection to Brashard Smith. Van Dyke in the shotgun. In motion comes Mike Harley. Handoff goes to Knighton. Knighton takes it up the middle, but he is stuffed right up by a host of Hokie tacklers, and there is no room there for the freshman running back for the Hurricanes.
It was a design run by Miami, but when you're Tyler Van Dyke at that moment, you have to see Mike Harley was wide open on a screen at around the 25-yard line. Probably could have gotten an easy 15 had they gotten rid of the run play and made it into an option.
Van Dyke in the shotgun, audibling to the sideline here. Mallory comes in motion. Harley comes back in to the set here, motioning to the left side. Two receivers to each side of Van Dyke in the shotgun. Knighton to his right hip. Van Dyke drops back, swings it out to Knighton. Knighton cuts back up across the 30, across the 35, right down there at the 35, right near the sticks, and it looks like it will be enough for a Miami Hurricanes first down.
And the side judge is waving on the sticks. It will be a first down for Miami. And the only drive that they were stopped on was a 3-and-out, so they have not had a drive in which they've had a first down and not scored.
Three receivers to the left of Van Dyke. Knighton to his right hip. Van Dyke again walks up to the offensive line, getting an audible call from the sideline. Knighton motions back to the left hip of Van Dyke in the shotgun now. Van Dyke takes a snap. Play action right across the middle. Looks like Rambo right at the 40-yard line, and Charleston Rambo will have a solid 5-yard gain. Rambo now up to 4 receptions, 468 yards on the evening. A good night, eclipsing that 1,000-yard mark. A historic night for Charleston Rambo as Van Dyke back in the shotgun. Knight to the right hip. Harley comes in motion once again. And now the swing pass out to Harley. And it's blown up right there by Jermaine Waller. Sheds the block of Charleston Rambo and chops down Mike Harley for a big loss on the play.
Waller was almost on the ground when he made that tackle, just reached out his arm and was able to trip up Mike Harley. Harley hasn't had too much of a big receiving day so far, only his second reception.
Van Dyke audibles up to the offensive line again, trips to both sides of the Miami quarterback Knighton on the left hip of Van Dyke. Van Dyke takes a snap on 3rd and 9, drops back, looks over the middle, and nothing there. Van Dyke is thrown to the ground, and that will be a 3-and-out for the Hurricanes. Big stop for the Hokies. We talked about this one quite a bit.
Yeah, and Charleston Rambo, if he got through that block and had Van Dyke not been under pressure, that was an easy 6. Rambo was off to the races. And so far, Rambo, it's worth mentioning, 4 receptions so far today. That puts him 5 away from number 1 in Miami history in single-season receptions.
Tavion Robinson back to receive the punt here from Miami. Miami lining up to punt this one away. Here's a punt from Headley. End over end kick. It's going to take a Miami bounce right near the Hokies' 20-yard line, and that's where they will start play. Actually looks like it's up near the 22 or the 23. So the Hokies take over with 12:24 remaining in this third quarter. Again, this was a big stop for this Hokies defense. We talked about it a lot coming out of the break. The Hokies needed that stop.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it being a huge key play for Virginia Tech. Had Miami scored there, and you're now talking about a 35-13 game. Now Virginia Tech has an opportunity with a touchdown here to make this a one-possession game.
28-13 the score. The Hurricanes still lead the Hokies here in Miami as Braxton Burmeister under center. In motion comes Caleb Smith. Motions back into the shotgun. Raheem Blackshear to his left hip. Tavion Robinson comes in motion. The jet sweep goes to Robinson. Robinson cuts it across the outside, across the 25, and will be chopped down right near the 30-yard line at about the 28. Good gain on first down by Tavion Robinson.
Worth mentioning how, similar to the Hokies' last offensive drive before the break, the rain yet again is coming down in waves here at Hard Rock Stadium.
2nd and 5 for Braxton Burmeister and this Hokies offense. He's in the shotgun. Raheem Blackshear to the right hip. In motion comes Nick Gallo. Here's a snap to Burmeister. Burmeister play action. Looking across the middle of the field, but he will be swallowed up in the backfield. That's number 53, Zach McLeod, sacking Braxton Burmeister, and he's in for loss. And that ball actually came out. A Hokie and a Hurricane fighting for it on the ground. We'll see who comes out with this one. That ball did come out, and it looks like Miami has the football. Miami recovers the football in Virginia Tech territory down near the 20-yard line. Zach McLeod punched it out, and the Hurricanes recovered.
Marcus Clark coming in there and getting the takeaway, and for the first time today, the turnover chain will come out for the Miami Hurricanes.
Now that play there reverses exactly what the Hokies defense just did in getting that stop. Now the Hurricanes set up in the red zone, looking to add to this 28-13 lead with 11:47 remaining in this third quarter. Tyler Van Dyke and the Hurricane offense set up right on the 20-yard line. Van Dyke in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off to Knighton. Knighton cuts it across the 15, and he'll be actually stopped right at the 16-yard line there. 4-yard gain on first down.
Crowd cheering the scoreboard as it shows Clark with turnover chain 5.0. Turnover chain 4.0 came out just once against the Hokies last year on a Takori Couch interception in the fourth quarter that sealed the game. That play could seal the game here if Miami puts a touchdown on the board.
Yeah, Miami looking to add to this lead here, already at 28-13. Couple minutes into this third quarter, 11:15 and a rolling clock. Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap, hands it off to Knighton, and Knighton will get a couple yards, falling forward to about the 12. And that'll settle third down. This Hokies defense can hold Miami to a field goal here if they get a stop on what's going to be a 3rd and 3.
And a field goal here would be huge for Virginia Tech. You currently trail by 15. A field goal still puts you down by 18, but that's a lot more manageable than the alternative.
Van Dyke under center, Knighton in the backfield. The pitch goes to Knighton, and he is swallowed up by Dax Hollyfield right at the 12-yard line, and Knighton will have nothing on the 3rd down run, and it will force a 4th down.
And it will bring out the kicker for Miami, and Andres Borregales, to kick a field goal. He's nearly perfect from extra points, however, 12 for 16 on field goals, and through the rain, this could all set up for a missed field goal opportunity for Andres Borregales.
So it looks like about a 30-yarder here for Borregales and the Miami Hurricanes here.
Keep in mind, 3 of his 4 misses have been inside 40 yards.
So Borregales ready to kick the 30-yard attempt away. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and that one is through. Borregales adds to the Hurricane lead. The score now 31-13. Virginia Tech defense bent but did not break. They're only giving up 3. The lead stands at 18.
So an 18-point game, that of course is a 3-possession game. However, for Virginia Tech, you can still take a field goal. There's a lot of time left on the clock, 15 minutes in the fourth quarter and 9 minutes and 56 seconds still outstanding in the third quarter. Just try to make this a 2-possession game. Even if that means a field goal to turn this back into a 15-point game, that's still a 2-possession game. If you get deep in Miami's territory and it's a 4th down and short, you have to take the points in that situation.
So Miami holds the lead 31-13 here at Hard Rock Stadium. The defense in this second half so far doing its job, getting 2 stops, 1 a 3 and out, and 1 holding the Miami Hurricanes to a field goal, but a Braxton Burmeister fumble set the Hurricanes up right in the red zone and allowed them to get 3 points. We're going to take a quick break on 3304 Sports. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium, live from the booth. Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports, and Miami Hurricanes take a 31-13 lead on a 30-yard field goal by Andres Borregales, adding to the lead. That was 28-13 at halftime. The Hokies got a stop on Miami's first drive after halftime, but a strip sack by Zach McLeod set the Hurricanes up in the red zone on the 20-yard line. So with 9:56 remaining, the lead stands for the Hurricanes at 31-13.
And for Miami, this is a very good offensive production so far. You take a look back at their past 5 games, they've scored at least 28 points in each of those games. 31 here against the Hokies. Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, they've struggled offensively despite a 48 performance last week. They haven't put too many points on the scoreboard.
So Borregales tees it up. Back to receive is Holston and King once again. Toe to leather, the kick is away. Keyshawn King puts his arms out and this time does not change his decision at the last minute. And the ball will barrel into the end zone, setting the Hokies up on their own 20-yard line.
For Virginia Tech, this has to be a drive in which you go down the field and score. Does not matter if it's a field goal, does not matter if it's a touchdown. You just need points at this point. It's an 18-point game. As I mentioned, a field goal makes this a 2-possession game. A touchdown makes it an 11-point game. That's even better. You're a little bit closer.
So Connor Blumrick trots back out onto the field for the Hokies. Malachi Thomas to his right hip, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Connor Blumrick. Blumrick takes a direct step, trots up the middle, across the 30, across the 35, and down to the 37-yard line. Big hole created by that offensive line, and Blumrick ran right through it.
Blumrick was a broken tackle away from touchdown land, and Corey Flagg Jr., we've been saying his name a lot so far today, in with a touchdown-saving tackle. Had a career-high 8 tackles last week against Florida State. Flagg coming into his own with 5 so far today.
Blumrick goes for 12. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Malachi Thomas to the right hip of Connor Blumrick. Blumrick gets a call from the sideline here. Communicates with his offensive line, now back in the shotgun. Motions Malachi Thomas to his left hip now. In motion comes Dwayne Lofton. The handoff goes to Thomas. Thomas bursts across the seam, and he will be across the 49 to about the 50-yard line. Good run there by Malachi Thomas, who's been the workhorse for the Hokies in the recent weeks.
Malachi Thomas had a breakout game a few weeks ago against Syracuse. He kind of got stifled against Duke last game, but seemed to be having a second coming here against the Canes.
Blumrick still in for the Hokies. Thomas again on the right side of Connor Blumrick, and again they get a new call from the sideline. Dwayne Lofton and Tavion Robinson to the left, Caleb Smith to the right of Connor Blumrick. In motion comes Lofton. Lofton takes a jet sweep. Blumrick will fake that one again, and he'll be across the 40, across the 30. Blumrick bounces it out to the left side, across the 20. Connor Blumrick to the 15, to the 10, and inside the 10-yard line. Connor Blumrick with an outstanding run to put the Hokies inside the 10-yard line.
Blumrick fired up after that run. A huge play for Virginia Tech. Miami's Cameron Kitchens in there to finally make the stop in the secondary. And when you have a guy in the secondary stopping a run play, you know something happened on that defensive line.
Connor Blumrick providing a much-needed spark to this Hokies offense. Now, inside the 10-yard line, the Hokies looking to strike Malachi Thomas in behind Connor Blumrick under center. The handoff goes to Thomas. Thomas stuffed up the middle, nothing there. Looks like no gain on the play for Malachi Thomas.
For Virginia Tech, you do want to try to experiment on that run play. Malachi Thomas going up the middle did not work out the way you hoped for, but at least your goal right now is don't turn the ball over. Points are points, even if you do get stopped on this set of downs.
2 receivers to the right. Raheem Blackshear to the left hip of Connor Blumrick. Blumrick takes a snap. Again, runs it to the right side. He trots across the 8 and down to about the 7-yard line. Good discipline by that Miami defense. And now it's going to be 3rd down.
That'll get a large cheer from the Miami supporters who are ready for a 3rd down play. It'll be 3rd down and goal. So a huge play for Virginia Tech. This is essentially your last chance for a touchdown.
Now, Connor Blumrick has been in this whole drive for the Hokies. We've only seen a mix of quarterback and running back runs here on this drive as Blackshear to the right hip of Blumrick. Nick Gallo comes in motion. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Connor Blumrick. Looks at the sideline. Gallo comes back out to the right side of Blumrick. Here's a shotgun snap. Blumrick back to pass, looking in the end zone for Smith. Smith pulls it down. Touchdown, Hokies! What a pass. Connor Blumrick to Caleb Smith. Smith grabbed the jump ball right out of the air.
A bit overthrown, but Caleb Smith arching his back backwards and making the touchdown catch. Huge play for Virginia Tech. You are now outscoring Miami in the second half, 6-3, 7 pending the extra point, and a chance to make this an 11-point ball game.
31-19 pending the extra point here. What a catch from Caleb Smith. Again, that ball was a little bit underthrown. Smith had to make an athletic grab. Snap's good to Moore. Hold is good. John Parker Romo puts it through, and 31-20. The Hokies cut into the deficit now with 6:25 remaining in this third quarter. The score stands Miami 31, Virginia Tech 20.
So I'll tell you what that means for Virginia Tech. Say Miami takes an especially long time on this drive, does not give you too much time. This is still a 2-possession game. What that means is you can still go down the field and kick a field goal and turn this into an 8-point game and just pray that you get that 2-point conversion. Virginia Tech, despite being counted out of this game a little while ago, if we take a look at the scoring summary, Virginia Tech was down by as much as 17 points, 21-3, eventually 18 points by a score of 28-10. And now you're right back in it. It's an 11-point game, but again, you're gonna need that defense to step up. The past 2 drives, however, they've proven that they can.
Will the Hokies step up on defense once again? We'll see when we come back from break here on 3304 Sports. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here in Coral Gables, Florida, as the Hokies cut into the deficit here. 31-20, Miami leads the Hokies here in this third quarter. And Connor Blummer just threw his first touchdown pass as a Virginia Tech Hokie. Came in as a transfer from Texas A&M and was running the ball left and right on that drive, but ended the drive with a touchdown pass.
Blumerick was 2 for 4 passing coming into today's game with just 3 passing yards, now a 7-yard touchdown reception for his first touchdown pass of the season. Goes to Caleb Smith, who's only catching his second pass for a touchdown this season. So the Hokies finding new routes to work with to find themselves to get on the scoreboard.
John Parker Romo tees it up for the Hokies as he's kicking it deep to Smith and Restrepo here. As the Red Hat departs the field, as we are back in action, John Parker Romo does his traditional leg kicks, toe to the football. Actually, onside kick here, and the ball bounces away, and the Hokies have a chance out of here. The Hokies looks like they have recovered the football here. We'll see what the decision is. The Hokies have the football. What a decision here. J.C. Price making big decisions in his debut as the Hokies head coach. Still a scrum at the bottom of the pile, but early signals say Virginia Tech has the football.
And they do. The head referee now pointing the direction of the Hokies. And I'll tell you what, no man in the world right now is more popular in Blacksburg, Virginia than J.C. Price. What a decision. A surprise onside kick surprised us here in the broadcast booth. The Hokies have the ball yet again. It was a clean play, waited to go all 10 yards, and in fact was touched by Miami. A perfect, and I mean perfect, surprise onside kick.
The ball deflected off a couple up men in the Miami kick return formation, and just the right bounces, and the Hokies jump on it at the 41-yard line of the Hurricanes. Now Connor Blummer back in this ball game. Malachi Thomas to his right hip. 3 receivers to the left. Blummer takes a snap back to pass once again. Pump fakes and then dishes it out to Dwayne Lofton. Dwayne Lofton goes backwards there on his knees and then gets up to about the 34-yard line there. Looked like he might have fell down originally, but got back up and was able to get up for a few yards there.
It continues the pattern of Virginia Tech using players that Miami might not have prepped on. We haven't talked about Dwayne Lofton too much this season. All of a sudden, he's been making a couple catches for Virginia Tech so far today.
So actually, it moves the Hokies back 2 yards. Again, it is a bit difficult to see where the ball is from here. Blummer in the shotgun. Malachi Thomas to his left hip. Gallo in the bunch formation. Blummer fakes a pitch and runs it right up the middle. It will get about 2, maybe 3 yards there. Nothing doing. And now it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 here. 5:33 in a running clock, and the Hokies really don't want to squander this field position here.
You get the onside kick, the momentum is all yours, and now you have a chance to potentially punt the ball away and do away with that. That is probably the worst case scenario and the biggest momentum killer that Virginia Tech could have.
Once again, we have not seen Braxton Burmeister in this second half as Blummer in the shotgun again. Malachi Thomas motions to the outside. Blummer takes a shotgun step, looks left, has Tavion Robinson in the tunnel screen. Tavion Robinson gets across the 40, down to about the 37-yard line. Good defense there by Miami. The Hokies only get a few yards, and that's going to set up a 4th down.
And that is about a 54-yard field goal try. Should they kick the field goal, John Parker Romo's long is 52. And it looks like the offense is remaining on the field on a long 4th and 7, another risky play.
So 4:37 in this third quarter, running clock. Connor Blummer in the offense stays out on the field. Malachi Thomas to the right hip, 3 receivers to the right. In motion comes Tavion Robinson to the left side of the football field, right in front of the Miami sideline. Blumrick takes a shotgun step, looks left, throws it deep to Lofton. The ball is caught. Dwayne Lofton inside the 10-yard line. Connor Blumrick connects with the freshman.
Oh my goodness, what a catch by Dwayne Lofton. Looked like that one was going to be well overthrown. Lofton putting his body on the line, diving forward for the first.
What a throw by Connor Blumrick from the shotgun snap. Now Blumrick takes it to the left side, down across the 5, inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. And now it looks like there's a scrum here at the bottom of the pile here. It looks like
bit of a dirty play by Miami. That was number 91, Jordan Miller, laying on top of Blumrick for an extended amount of time.
Well, now the Hokies inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4, second and goal, 3:39 and a rolling clock again, 31-20. The Hurricanes lead late in this third quarter with the Hokies threatening to cut even deeper into that deficit as Blumrick in the shotgun. Thomas to his left hip, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In motion comes Dwayne Lofton, and that's going to be a false start penalty on the Hokies, I believe.
It really saved them there. That was a low snap. Blumrick struggled to find the football, and as soon as he got his hands on it, his legs were swept out from underneath him.
So the Hokies are going to move back to the 9-yard line here. So a bit of a break there, like you said, Tyler. That was a disastrous play looking like it was forming there, but the Hokies still inside the 10-yard line, second and goal here. And again, Connor Blumrick doing what the Hokies haven't come to expect from him. He's had 2 huge throws in this game. One to Dwayne Lofton, one to Caleb Smith for the touchdown.
Yeah, 28-yard long. Blumrick now 4 for 6 through the air for 35 yards.
Blumrick back in the shotgun. Thomas to the right hip, through the right for Connor Blumrick. He gets a look there at the sideline. Second and goal once again, 3:03 running clock. Clock now ticking under 3 minutes. Thomas moves to the left to the Blumrick. Blumrick gets a shotgun snap. He's going to take off across the 5. Blumrick down to the 4, right back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Hokies will have a third and goal here from the 4-yard line.
Hokies have been good so far on third down conversions. We take a look at their third down efficiency so far today. It's 4 for 10, but this quarter they're 1 for 2. Fourth down, they're 1 for 1 on that previous pass to Lofton on the 4th and 7.
So Hokies make a couple substitutions. Caleb Smith back in the game. Drake Dooley is to the right side as well as Lofton and Tavion Robinson. Malachi Thomas again to the right hip of Blumrick. Tavion Robinson comes in motion here inside the bunch set. Blumrick takes a shotgun step, rolls to his right side, throws to Lofton. Touchdown Hokies! Blumrick finds Lofton for the second time on this drive, pounding his chest, walking towards J.C. Price on the Hokies sideline. 31-26 to score now.
What a momentum swing for Virginia Tech. Having 2 consecutive drives without Miami touching the football. 2 touchdown passes from Blumrick to Lofton, and it looks like they're going for the 2-point conversion. A smart play, in my opinion, as if it's successful, would make it just a field goal away from tying the Hurricanes.
So 31-26, the Canes lead. Again, Connor Blumrick connects with Dwayne Lofton for the second time on this drive, this time for a touchdown. And 2 unlikely contributors contributing big time in this game as Blumrick lines up for the shotgun snap, bunch formation to the right side. Malachi Thomas motions out to the right side in the flat. Blumrick takes a snap, throws it up to Smith in the end zone, and that's going to be incomplete as the score stands 31-26. The Hokies nonetheless cut into this deficit now, only a 5-point deficit, cut it down from as much as 18.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they couldn't get the 2-point conversion there. That would have made it a 3-point game in favor of Miami still, but continuing to cut into that lead. The only thing you have to worry about now is you've now had 2 consecutive drives in which your offense has taken the field. You've given Miami's offense extra time to rest, extra time to talk about it after 2 failed drives on offense. Miami could come out with vengeance and try to put it back to a 2-possession game.
So Virginia Tech coming out with a vengeance in the second half, outscoring the Hurricanes 13-3 in this third quarter. Big second half for the Hokies, and they look to continue to build the momentum with a stop on defense. The Hurricanes look to get back on the scoreboard. We'll be right back with more action on 3304 Sports. Back here at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hokies just cut into the deficit once again with a touchdown from Connor Blumrick to Dwayne Lofton, cutting the Miami lead to 31-26. Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz from 3304 Sports. And Tyler, something we haven't seen from Connor Blumrick all year. He's done it twice here tonight.
Yeah, he's been passing the ball, only 2 completions heading into this game. But last time we saw Connor Blemerick, we didn't think we'd see him again with a gruesome leg injury against Notre Dame. But now coming in, 5 for 7 passing, 39 yards, 2 touchdowns, is outperforming Braxton Burmeister in every category except for yards and completions.
And on the ground for Blemerick, 14 carries for 124 yards, an average of 9 yards per carry for the transfer from Texas A&M. Again, the rain continues to come down here in Coral Gables as John Parker-Romo tees it up. Restrepo and Smith back once again for the Canes. Parker-Romo trots, kicks it away deep and returnable for Smith. Smith catches it at about the 5, takes it across the 10, and this rain playing a factor. Smith slips and falls at around the 15-yard line, and Miami sets up in their worst field position of the evening on their own 16-yard line. Tyler Van Dyke in this offense comes back out looking to push away from the Hokies a little bit.
Yeah, Van Dyke will have his worst field position so far today, and that comes off the Brashard Smith slip and fall at the 15-yard line. For this Virginia Tech defense, though, you saw them getting hyped up on the onside kick and both touchdowns. The momentum is with this Virginia Tech defense, even though they haven't been on the field in almost 10 minutes of play.
So Van Dyke in the shotgun, Knight to his right hip. Play action pass. Van Dyke rolling back to his own 5-yard line and just has to throw that one away. Dax Hollyfield and Amari Barno in pursuit there as well as Jalen Griffin, and he just had to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, and lucky that he did throw it out of bounds and it didn't stay in, because both Jermaine Waller and Keyshawn Artis were there in double coverage for the Hokies.
So 2:02 remaining in this third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 15 for the Hurricanes. Again, Van Dyke in the shotgun, Knight to his right hip. 3 receivers out left. Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap. Good protection. Looks left. The throw was tipped off the hands of Connor, and that ball is caught by Rambo on the sideline, but he's going to be out of bounds. Shamari Connor, that ball tipped right off the hands and almost was disastrous for this Hokies defense and fell right into the arms of Charleston Rambo, but out of bounds.
Yeah, taking a look at the replay on the screen, Rambo had it. His feet were, however, clearly out of bounds when he first made contact with it.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Hurricanes. Again, back deep in their own territory, about the 15 or 16-yard line. Van Dyke in the shotgun once again. Knight to the hip. 2 receivers, both to the left and right of Van Dyke. Here's a snap. Van Dyke takes a snap, looks over the middle, and that ball is going to be caught right at about the 30-yard line. Good enough for a first down. Charleston Rambo gets it across the 25 and about to the 29-yard line, and that's good enough for Hurricanes first down.
One thing that I've noticed so far is, despite a couple of times Van Dyke hasn't been under pressure a lot, and that mostly comes off the fact that their offensive line is the 2nd most experienced in the country. 209 combined starts, trailing only the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who have 230.
So big 3rd down conversion. Again, that connection between Van Dyke and Rambo has been there all year, and it continues to be there tonight. Van Dyke in the shotgun snap, Smith in motion. The handoff goes to Smith, double handoff, and it's going to be a flea flicker, but Van Dyke is in under pressure. The throw is going to go to Mallory, and that one's going to be complete. Mallory breaks the tackle across the 35, across the 30, across the 20. Mallory breaks another tackle across the 10, across the 5. Touchdown, Hurricanes!
I hate to spoil this one. This one is coming back. A flag was thrown and spotted at the 21-yard line. This is either an illegal forward pass or holding.
It is going to be a holding, a long walk back for Will Mallory as he found himself in the end zone after some trickery. Restrepo got the handoff from Smith and then back to Van Dyke, and that was a touchdown, but the holding brings it back. A bad missed tackle by Dax Hollyfield, but that's going to move the Hurricanes back quite a bit, and this fan base just, you can feel the life sucked out of the stadium there. Big play for the Hurricanes coming all the way back on what was almost a 70-yard pass there from Van Dyke to Mallory.
72 yards, and the Hurricanes had Brashard Smith for 75 yards. I think we saw the crowd get more excited for that play by Mallory than they did for the Brashard Smith touchdown.
So 1st and 20, Van Dyke takes a snap, handoff to Knight. Knight and bursts across the middle, across the 20, down to about the 24-yard line. As this clock ticks under a minute remaining, it will continue to run. It's going to be 2nd and long here. Only about a 5-yard gain on that play. So 2nd and about 15 for the Hurricanes here as this clock continues to spiral Van Dyke back in the shotgun now, waiting for the signal from the referee. Play clock ticks under 15 seconds. Van Dyke gets back in the shotgun. One tight end, one receiver left, two receivers right for Van Dyke. Takes a shotgun snap. It's going to be a tunnel screen. Caught. And across the 30 to about the 31 is Jacoby George. And that's going to set up a third down, a big third down for this Hokies defense. And it looks like they're going to let this clock run to the fourth quarter. It's ticking under 10 seconds now at about 5.
A saying that was made famous by the Miami Hurricanes, 4's up. And that's exactly what they're going to do here as the clock reads triple zeros on the game clock. End of the third quarter. The momentum is with the Virginia Tech Hokies, and you can see that as they're coming out towards midfield, doing the 4s themselves, as it will come down to the fourth quarter, a 5-point lead for the Hurricanes, but the momentum has been with the Hokies since the first drive of this third quarter.
Both sidelines putting the 4s up, and we will have the fourth quarter for you right back here on 3304 Sports after a quick break. Welcome back here to Hard Rock Stadium here in Coral Gables, Florida. Music blaring, trying to get the crowd pumped up for this fourth quarter. We certainly have a great fourth quarter ahead of us. Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports. The Miami Hurricanes lead the Virginia Tech Hokies 31-26. A big third down coming up for the Hurricanes.
One thing I do want to mention, you mentioned the Hard Rock Stadium staff trying to get the fans fired up, a light show going on, and the fans are into it. The only people dressed in this stadium in green and orange that are not fired up right now are the Miami Hurricanes themselves. Meanwhile, we saw Virginia Tech dancing to the music, jumping up and down. The momentum is with Virginia Tech right now. This third down is huge, and if things go the way they looked like they were going to in between quarters, it looks like the Hokies can make this stop.
3rd and 8 coming out of this break here as a fourth quarter, 15 minutes on the clock. Van Dyke moving from our left to the right, far side of the football field in the shotgun. Knighton to his left hip, takes a snap back in the shotgun, throws it over the front side of the field to Will Mallory, and that one looks like it's going to be caught, but the Hokies calling for an incomplete pass, but that's going to be enough for, looks like a first down. Actually, it's going to be a fourth down here.
Looks like they did rule that incomplete. It will be 4th down and 8. No, they did call that complete, just short of the yard to gain.
And it's about at the 37-yard line of Miami, and the offense is out on the field right now. Van Dyke in the shotgun, Knighton on the left hip. Van Dyke takes a snap. Knighton running up the middle, and it looks like he will have enough for actually the Hokies think they've stopped the Hurricanes.
He was stopped by Artis. Artis looking for the ball to be called short. A very favorable spot by the line judge. Looks like this one will move the sticks.
Yep, they're going to give them the first down. The Hokies thought they had it, and they really thought they had it. The whole sideline reacted there, but it's going to give the Hurricanes a first down, like you said. Maybe a bit of a generous spot. It's hard to tell from here. We are looking at the far side of the football field here at Hard Rock Stadium. Actually, it looks like it's going to come out for a measurement.
And it will. The official just came out and said there will be a measurement as we see the sticks coming out towards midfield for an official measurement. It's that close.
It's hard to tell from here. We were actually looking on our monitor to see what this play is going to result in.
Looks like a first down.
Game of inches, and the Hurricanes have it by the nose of a football. And there goes a bit of the momentum back to the Hurricanes just a little bit. But it is still Miami football on their own 37-yard line, the tip of a football.
It was literally the nose. The 2 white stripes on the college football, the marker was covering one of those white stripes. And now there's going to be a review for the spot of the ball. That will drive some boos from the home supporters right after they were cheering. It is a mix of emotions, I'm sure, not only for the spectators at Hard Rock Stadium right now, but watching on their monitors around the Miami metro area and back in Virginia for Virginia Tech fans watching this game from home.
The Hokies sideline looked fairly certain that play was short. It's really hard to tell from this angle, but that immediate reaction from the Hokies sideline really thought they had it. And now this play is going to official review. It's not a challenge by the Hokie sideline. It is an official review. So we're going to go to a quick break and just headed to immediate timeout. So we will be right back on 3304 Sports with the ruling on the field. We're back here at Hard Rock Stadium, and the ruling on the field stands as called. So the Hurricanes will have the first down at their own 37-yard line. Very close play, but the Hurricanes have it by just inches.
One thing I do want to mention is this media timeout. It took maybe around 3 minutes for that results of that review to come out. That's a momentum killer for Miami. Having to sit and wait for the results, and all you have to do is sit and talk about what your next play might be.
So Van Dyke gets some calls from the sidelines as now the referees get back in place. 14:28 remaining. Again, this clock, the media timeout clock, is just now expiring. So 14:20 remaining in this fourth quarter. 31-26, the Hurricanes lead for 3304 Sports. I'm Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz. Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap. Knighton runs it across the middle and is across the 40-yard line to about the 44. So he'll have about 7 on the first down gain.
Knighton has been sneakily good so far for the Hurricanes. Only 14 yards of total offense for Jalen Knighton, but he's come up clutch in the moments where they needed him.
So actually that'll only be a 5-yard gain, so set to 2nd and 5. The Hokies are actually dominating quite a few offensive categories here tonight, leading the Hurricanes 16-14 in first downs and dominating time of possession by almost over 12 minutes. The Hurricanes have striked with some quick strikes as Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, and Norrell Pollard in pursuit of Van Dyke, and Van Dyke just has to get rid of it here, throws it down the sideline, but nobody there. Again, setting up another third down. Norrell Pollard was in heavy pursuit of Tyler Van Dyke.
And Van Dyke has had to throw away a lot of passes so far, and credit to Van Dyke, has not been sacked so far today.
Yep, he's definitely escaped that pocket, but he just had to get that ball away because Pollard was bearing down quite quickly, as now it is 3rd and 5. Again, another big third down for this Hokies defense as Van Dyke back in the shotgun. Two receivers to his left, a tight end and a receiver to his right. Knighton off his right hip. Van Dyke takes a snap. He'll look left and he'll throw left, and that one is batted down and incomplete. In coverage is Nasir Peoples, and that's going to force a 4th down.
Intended for Will Mallory. Mallory had that big touchdown that was called back due to the holding. Mallory so far today has been a very, very good target for Tyler Van Dyke. Unfortunately there, ball might have been wet with the rain still coming down. Either that, or it could have been just the coverage by Nasir Peoples. Mallory couldn't hang on.
So now in the punt is Lou Headley. So Will Mallory has 3 receptions for 27 yards and a touchdown, but he has been that short yardage option for Van Dyke as Headley gets the punt away, end over end kick to Tavion Robinson. Robinson catches it at the 10-yard line, and he is swallowed up immediately at about, they're going to say he's at the 12-yard line. Great coverage there by the Hurricanes. It looks like Corey Couch in on the stop. The Hokies will have the ball on their own 12-yard line when we come back from a quick break. 31-26, the Hurricanes lead, but the Hokies have the football. Live at Hard Rock Stadium, it's Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports. We have quite the game going on here in Miami Gardens. The Hokies trail the Hurricanes late in this one, 31-26. Still a lot of time left in this fourth quarter. The Hokies just got the ball back.
A huge opportunity for Virginia Tech after the Lou Headley punt. The only unfortunate thing for Virginia Tech is you lost a yard on the Tavion Robinson return on a great stop by Corey Couch. You are pinned at your 13, but you do have 13 minutes, 16 seconds, all 3 timeouts. You don't necessarily need to score on this drive.
So Connor Blummer back in once again for the Hokies. Again, we have not seen usual starter Braxton Burmeister in this second half, but Blummer has done more than enough to keep the Hokies in this ball game. He's in the shotgun, 1 receiver to his left, 2 to his right side. Malachi Thomas offset, actually that is Keyshawn King at his right hip. Blummer takes a snap. Again, delayed quarterback run. He'll take it up the middle, across the 10, down at about the 14-yard line. That's where forward progress will be stopped, is right at about the 13-yard line. Good gain on first down by Connor Blummer.
Yeah, it cuts the down and distance in half. 2nd down and 5 from the 17-yard line is a good opportunity. And we start to take a look at Connor Blumrick's uniform. It is dirty with grass stains from the field here at Hard Rock Stadium.
He's been all over the field as a shotgun snap. Blumrick back to pass across the middle to Tavion Robinson. and the coverage was right there. That pass falls incomplete. It's going to set up third down from the 17, or from the 13, excuse me. 17, actually. The ball on the 17-yard line here. It's going to be third down and 5 for the Hokies. And big third down for the Hokies. They got the stop on defense. Now it's the Canes' chance to get a stop for their offense.
For Miami, you know this is your weakness this half so far. Third down efficiency has skyrocketed for Virginia Tech since the second half started.
The crowd gets loud here at Hard Rock Stadium as Blumrick in the shotgun snap. Robinson comes in motion. Here's the snap to Blumrick. Blumrick back to pass. He's going to be swallowed up in the backfield, and down for the sack goes Connor Blumrick. And look who. That's going to be number 81 on the stop there, Jared Harrison Hunt. Big sack there for the Canes.
Had a sack last week against Florida State. The redshirt freshman out of Middle Village, New York, coming in and making a huge stop, forcing Peter Moore to punt from his own end zone.
So Peter Moore heels right in the middle of the A in the Miami in the end zone, gets the punt away, end over end kick to Jacoby George, taking it about his own 40, and that's going to be taken across the 50 down to about the 42-yard line of the Hokies, but that one is certainly coming back. Quite an obvious block in the back on the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and the Hurricanes keep shooting themselves in the foot so far. 4 penalties for 35 yards, and that's going to be another huge penalty. You remember the holding penalty that called back a 75-yard touchdown pass to Will Mallory.
So the referees are discussing this one, maybe discussing whether or not to pick this one up. It looked certainly like a block in the back from here.
So there were 2 penalties, a holding and an illegal block in the back. You could only accept one. Virginia Tech will accept the block in the back as it carries more weight, backing up Miami.
So this is going to put Miami back from where they returned it. They had it across the Hokies, into Hokies territory across the 50, but now they are set up back in their own territory at their own 32-yard line as Van Dyke and the Hurricanes come back out onto the field. 2 receivers to the right and a bunch set to the left. Knighton is offset on the left hip. Van Dyke takes a snap. Play action, looking across the middle to Restrepo. Van Dyke actually takes off across the middle and will have a couple yards on the first down run.
And for Virginia Tech, you've done a great job so far, in the second half, of stopping Miami's offense. But it's only a matter of time before Miami's offense breaks through again. You're running on borrowed time.
Exactly, 11:32 remaining in the running clock, and the Hurricanes still have a lead in this football game. It's 2nd and 7 from the 35-yard line. Van Dyke in the shotgun again. Knighton to the left. 3 receivers to Van Dyke's left, 1 to the right. Restrepo comes in motion to the right side of the formation. Van Dyke takes a snap, looks left, takes off again across the middle of the field. He has plenty of room. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line is where Van Dyke slides. The middle of the field was wide open for Tyler Van Dyke right there.
Only his 3rd rushing attempt of the day so far, but it will go for his longest of the day. And now another big break for Virginia Tech, and I mean break in the bad way of saying there is another member who is down and injured at around the 30-yard line of Miami territory.
It's hard to tell from here, but we're looking on our monitors. It looks like it is Jalen Griffin who's shaken up for the Hokies, and while he's recovering on the field, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Canes lead 31-26 in the 4th quarter. Back here at Hard Rock Stadium, 10:59 remaining in this 4th quarter, and the Hurricanes hold a 5-point lead over the visiting Virginia Tech Hokies, but this one is certainly far from over. We've seen fireworks here in the second half.
Yeah, so far it's been a back and forth battle, mostly being won by the Hokies. However, Miami driving down the field right now after a very large run by Tyler Van Dyke for 10 yards on the first down. Miami driving down the field. They lead by 5 right now. If you're Virginia Tech, you cannot allow anything more than a field goal.
Yeah, because a touchdown will put this back to a 2-possession game. And late in this one, possessions are becoming more and more hard to come by as Both these teams are fighting for every single yard as Van Dyke takes the shotgun snap here. Play action, looking to the left side. He'll float it over the top to Rambo, right over the outstretched hands of the leading receiver for the Hurricanes. And this sets up a 3rd and long.
Big opportunity for Virginia Tech to come in and kind of sweep up the play on what will be now 2nd down and 10. If you can continue forcing errant passes by Tyler Van Dyke, that's going to be the key for Lou Headley having more field time.
My apologies. It is 2nd down and 10 from the Miami 45-yard line. Van Dyke back in the shotgun. Another play action, scanning the field is Van Dyke, and he'll look deep. He has Harley wide open. Mike Harley across the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Miami. Van Dyke to Harley for 6.
First touchdown pass of the half to Mike Harley. He hauls in his 5th of the season. He had a touchdown last week against Florida State. Torched Virginia Tech for a 51-yard receiving day last season. Ranks 3rd in career receptions in Miami history and continues to add onto his record book with a touchdown here that will push this back to a 2-score game.
So it looks like Dax Hollyfield got a mismatch on Mike Harley, and once Harley saw that, he was off to the races. Van Dyke found him right across the middle of the field, and the Hurricanes strike to extend their lead to 37-26. Pending the extra point, Borgalis in. That one is up and good. The Hurricanes take a 2-score lead, 38-26, with 10:39 remaining in this 4th quarter. We'll be right back for more 4th quarter action here from Hard Rock Stadium. Back here at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take a 38-26 lead midway, 5 minutes in this 4th quarter. Borgalis tees it up for the Canes. Music blaring. Crowd back into it here at Hard Rock.
Yeah, the crowd getting fired up on that Mike Harley touchdown reception. Hurricanes back up by 2 scores.
Borgalis kicks it deep and through the end zone. King puts his arms out, signaling that he will not return that one as that one rolls out the back of the end zone. The Hokies set up shop on their own 20-yard line.
And for Virginia Tech, it goes right back to that situation of you just need points. There's 10 minutes, 39 seconds. It's a 12-point game, so in essence, you really need a touchdown here to make this back to a 1-score game.
So again, Connor Blummer trots back out onto the football field as he sets up in the shotgun. Malachi Thomas right off his hip, one receiver to the left, 2 to the right for Connor Blummer as he takes a shotgun snap, and he'll run it out to the right, and he'll cut it up across a 30. Big hit on Connor Blumrick by number 4, Keontra Smith. Huge hit on the quarterback. But Blumrick will have 5 yards nonetheless. A massive hit actually across Blumrick.
Smith was a good pickup for Manny Diaz and company. The true freshman chose Miami over 16 other Power 5 programs, the 4-star out of West Park, Florida.
2nd and 5 for Blumrick. He hands it to Malachi Thomas. Malachi Thomas bursts across the hole and across a 40-yard line. Actually, he'll be tackled right at about the 37-yard line. Good run there by the freshman.
Malachi Thomas has been a man that the Hokies have gone to late in the season so far, and we just take a look at the replay. A couple of Hurricanes got their hands on Thomas, but he just kept powering through.
So Blumrick back in the shotgun again. Again, Thomas still in the football game. He's been the main back for Connor Blumrick tonight as 2 receivers to the left. Play action. Blumrick looking to pass, but he will be swallowed up in the backfield, and I think you can add on a holding as well. DeAndre Johnson takes down Connor Blumrick in the backfield.
DeAndre Johnson, again, a 3.5 sack season. It will be another sack so far, and a penalty will be declined. It was holding against Virginia Tech, so a lose-lose situation for the Hokies.
DeAndre Johnson straight up beat Caden Moore there off the edge. Now the Hokies move back. After a big positive gain, they move back to their own 32-yard line as this clock continues to spiral. Again, there's a lot of time left, but you know, it all goes up eventually, and the Canes hold a 2-score lead with 9:19 and a rolling clock. Connor Blumrick takes a shotgun snap, looking to throw, but he would take it up the middle and be swallowed up again. And that's going to be 81, Jared Harrison Hunt again on the stop for the Canes. So now it's going to be 3rd and long, and it's a passing down for the Hokies. And Blumrick's done the job tonight, but he hasn't done much throwing all season. So we'll see what the Hokies and J.C. Price and Brad Cornelison draw up on this 3rd and long. It's a huge 3rd down for the Hokies. One receiver to the right, 2 to the left. And Connor Blummer takes the snap, looking to the right, running for his life, and he's going to throw to the sideline for Caleb Smith, and that pass is incomplete.
You're still in a situation where you can punt the football and be relatively okay. You can get a couple more possessions. Momentum is switching into the favor of Miami. One thing to note, Braxton Burmeister is in full pads and a helmet, spotted on the the Virginia Tech sideline. Not sure why we haven't seen him really at all in this 4th quarter.
Very surprising that we haven't seen the Oregon transfer out there at quarterback as Peter Moore gets the punt away. Big spiraling kick. Jacoby George picks it up at about his own 10-yard line. He's running across the 50, across the 20, now across the 30, across the 35, across the 40, now at the 44 or the 43-yard line is Jacoby George. Great return there. We've seen him a lot tonight have good punt returns.
Yeah, the Hurricanes constantly in that 1st quarter, if you really want to go down to it, it's almost a portion of why they were able to build up that lead early in the game is by continuing to make plays like that, make returns like that, getting out to the 40-yard line. Another one by Jacoby George will set up the Hurricanes in an opportunity that if they score a touchdown here, the game is essentially put away.
So the Canes will have the football when we come back from a quick break here on 3304 Sports. We will continue your 4th quarter coverage of the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Miami Hurricanes. Back here at Hard Rock Stadium, Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports. We're back with some more 4th quarter action between the Hokies and the Canes. And the Canes have the ball back, looking to add to their lead, in which they now have a 2-score lead over the Hokies, 38-26. Van Dyke connected with Harley for a long touchdown pass to give the Canes a 2-score lead after the Hokies cut it to 5 on 2 touchdown passes from Connor Blumrick in the 2nd half. Again, filling in for Braxton Burmeister. Not exactly sure what his situation is. We will fill you in as soon as we know more about the situation. As Van Dyke in the shotgun takes the snap. Play action right over the middle. Great defense there by the Hokies. That one's broken up by, it looks like, Marty Chapman right over there near the Miami sideline.
Yeah, Doc Hollifield was also in on the play for Virginia Tech. But this is a huge defensive drive for Virginia Tech. Should Miami score a touchdown on this drive, it is essentially game over, pack your bags. So for Virginia Tech's defense, you are fighting for your right and your opportunity to stay in this ball game and potentially get a win.
8 minutes and 19 seconds left in this 4th quarter. The Hokies have a lot of ground to make up, and the Hurricanes can put it away here if they score a touchdown. As Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap, looking deep for Rambo. Lots of hand fighting, and that's going to be a flag on Jermaine Waller. Lots of hand fighting, but Waller was the one that was caught for the pass interference.
Yeah, that might be one of the most obvious pass interference flags that I've seen so far this season. And for Waller, you almost have to wonder, what were you doing? That's going to draw a flag in Pop Warner football as well as the NFL.
Well, Van Dyke obviously knows his guy Rambo, and Rambo's created a ton of matchup problems tonight for the Hokies. He's leading the way for the Hurricanes with 6 receptions for 86 yards. As the Hurricanes now get the ball in Virginia Tech territory at about the 44-yard line of the Hokies, make that the 43-yard line. Van Dyke back in the shotgun here. Knighton to his left. Another play action here. Van Dyke looking deep, and he will go deep, and that ball is right out of the stretch of number 0, Romello Brinson. It was one of the first targets there at Brinson. I think he had one earlier in this drive, but the first time Van Dyke's looked his way and just overshot him there.
Yeah, and Brinson will take the march back out onto the Miami sideline. 2nd down and 10. Miami keeps going for these home run balls, but if they continue to do that, you maybe get 1 per drive, but if you continue to go for home run after home run, the Hokies are going to catch on eventually.
8:07 remaining in this 4th quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Canes from the Hokies' 43-yard line. Pass out left for Jacoby George, and that one's dropped, and that looked like almost a backwards pass. The Hokies jumped on that football, but it was swung out laterally to George, and that one will fall incomplete. And some extracurriculars after the play, but nonetheless, 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, Chamari Connor and George pushing and shoving. Now a big 3rd down Miami, this is almost necessary if you want to take away all the momentum for Virginia Tech. And on the flip side, for Virginia Tech's defense, this is a play a must stop to stay in the ball game.
So 3rd and 10 from the Hokies 43. Tyler Van Dyke and the Canes looking to add to this already 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter. Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap. He's looking long. Big hit, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Huge hit by Amari Barno, forcing the incomplete pass from Van Dyke.
Van Dyke a bit slow to get up. Taking a look at the replay on our monitor here, it was a mismatch, a 5-on-4 in the defensive line. Amari Barno comes in and absolutely levels Tyler Van Dyke at the 45. Seems to be okay as he walks to the sideline. And now for Virginia Tech, this could be the beginning of a new life with Tavion Robinson back to receive the Headley punt.
A tick under 8 minutes to go here at Hard Rock Stadium, and Headley back to punt. Robinson back to receive. Heels on his own 8-yard line. Headley receives a snap, runs out a little bit, gets the punt away. Robinson fair catch signal. Heels right on the 8, right where he started, and the Hokies will have it on their own 8-yard line.
And almost as if on cue, here comes the rain yet again. It's that same heavy rain that is forcing the fans to seek shelter in the concourse. And, I know there's been a famous saying by ESPN's Lee Corso, I don't know what a Hokie is, but God is one of them. Well, God is toying with the Hokies today. 3 drives have started with the rain dramatically picking up.
So Blumrick and the Hokies set up shop on their own 8-yard line. Now Raheem Blackshear in the game. We haven't seen much of him in this second half. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Connor Blumrick. The handoff goes to Blackshear. Blackshear squirts across the 10 down to about the 14-yard line, and he'll have about 5 or 6 on the first down run.
And for Virginia Tech, their run game has been their strength so far today, but you need to keep in mind that the run is not very smart for clock management.
Now Blumrick takes off on the quarterback keeper, bounces it out across the 20 and down at about the 24-yard line. Connor Blumrick gains a good amount of yards on that play, but he is right out of that tackle, and he's getting ready for the next play.
One thing I did notice on that play is Blumrick seemed to be running with a bit of a limp. He wasn't in stride. He was more so dragging on his left leg. Could be something to watch.
So Blumrick takes a snap once again. Handoff goes to Blackshear. Blackshear will have nowhere to go. Corey Flagg Jr., the first one in on the stop, but a swarm of Hurricanes there to make the play.
And if Miami continues to make those plays on runs, their run defense really needs to step up. There have been a couple of passes by Connor Blumrick, but for the most part, you are going to stop this Virginia Tech offense with your run defense especially.
Now the clock under 7 minutes to go as Blumrick drops back to pass, looks to Caleb Smith, and that one's going to be bobbled and falls incomplete. Caleb Smith just couldn't get his hands around that one, and now the clock stopped, 6:35 remaining, but it's 3rd and 11, and it's an obvious passing down for the Hokies.
And the question is this 4-down territory yet? With still 6:35 on the clock, do you trust your defense to make a timely stop on Miami if you fail to convert on this 3rd and long?
The Hokies and the Canes jerseys both soaked. The Canes once green jerseys now turned to dark forest green here at Hard Rock Stadium. It's 3rd and 11. Connor Blumrick takes a shotgun snap, looks left, throws left, looking for Tavion Robinson, but that ball, maybe a bit of a miscommunication, falls nowhere near the intended receiver, and it's going to be 4th and 11 for the Hokies.
Yeah, and here comes the punting unit, so that answers the question of what J.C. Price elects to do. He thinks his defense can make another timely stop. It is still a 12-point game, so a 2-possession game in which both would need to be touchdowns in order to get back in this ball game. Time is running out for Virginia Tech, especially with this Peter Moore punt.
So Peter Moore fields a low snap, gets the kick away, bobbling kick. Jacoby George will watch it bounce, takes a Hokie bounce down inside the 30 and stops right out about the 25-yard line. And the Hurricanes will take over right there when we come back on 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Hard Rock Stadium. 6:17 remaining in this 4th quarter. Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports. The Hurricanes hold a 38-26 lead. Tyler Van Dyke takes a snap, and upended is Jalen Knighton on the handoff. Chamari Connor with a chopping Knighton down, and Knighton kind of cartwheeled over there, and that's going to be a decent loss on the play for the Canes as this clock ticks under 6 minutes. The Canes will have a 2nd and 13.
And for Miami, a smart play continuing to run the ball, even though it's minuscule, keep that clock moving and running as much clock as you can.
So 5:48 in the rolling clock. Again, time is at a premium, especially for this Hokies team, as they are down 38-26 with 5:41 in the rolling clock. Van Dyke in the shotgun. Twin sets to the right and left. Knighton right next to him. Van Dyke looks to take a deep shot. Rambo's out there, and Rambo makes the play on the sideline. The Hokie sideline wants a pass interference, but Dorian Strong in coverage. Rambo makes the play on the sideline. The Canes are in Hokies territory.
Charleston Rambo is so good at what he does, had contact the entire way with Dorian Strong, eventually beats him out of the route and is there perfectly to make the catch. And give credit to where credit's due to Tyler Van Dyke for making the pass.
Again, Tyler Van Dyke has not been afraid to test his secondary. Van Dyke over 300 yards passing, as well as 3 passing touchdowns. This becoming his 5th straight game with over 300 yards passing and 3+ passing touchdowns. Incredible stuff from the freshman quarterback as he's back in the shotgun now. Takes a snap, hands it off to the running back. Looks like that is 22 getting the handoff. Thaddeus Franklin Jr. takes it for a couple yards, and again, this clock continues to roll.
Yeah, just over 4.5 minutes now. For Virginia Tech, you're going to get a stop. Keyshawn Artis looks like he's down and injured. Could be another big loss for the Hokies. But more importantly right now is making the stop without allowing Miami to score a touchdown. You can accept a field goal that would make this a 15-point game. It is still a 2-possession game in which both scores would have to be touchdowns. You still have all 3 timeouts if you're Virginia Tech, but again, that time is running out for the Hokies. 2nd down and 7 for Miami. We'll see what they can do with it.
So it looks like there is an injured Hokie on the field, and that is, it's hard to tell from here. That is Keyshawn Artis, as you said, Tyler. So Keyshawn Artis gets a little help walking off the field, but it looks like he's able to walk off on his own power. But 2nd and 7, 4:37 remaining. Again, the Canes driving inside the Hokies territory on the Hokies 44-yard line. Tyler Van Dyke and company looking to put the Hokies away for good in a game that was early dominated by this Hurricanes offense specifically, but the Hokies defense really bunkered down this second half. The offense just was not able to get enough done to really make this game go in the direction of the Hokies. But there is some time left, 4:37 remaining in this game. The Hokies have a chance to get a stop here. 2nd and 7 from the Virginia Tech 44-yard line. Van Dyke under center here. Franklin Jr. the back. Van Dyke comes out to the shotgun. Harley and Carter to the left of Van Dyke, as well as Rambo to the right.
Not sure why play has been halted here. The clock is rolling with 4:04.
So under 5, the play clock ticks. Franklin gets the carry. Franklin bursts it across the 40 and slips and falls, but he had more yards to gain there. But it's going to be 3rd and short as Franklin slips right at about the 37-yard line here.
For Miami, you have to consider, is this 4-down territory for you? Kicking a field goal here essentially does not do anything for your efforts. And going for 4th down can continue to roll the clock out by another about 2 minutes.
So 3:30 remaining in the rolling clock, and the Hokies are running out of time here as the Canes still hold a 2-possession lead over the Hokies here at Hard Rock Stadium as Van Dyke back in the shotgun. Franklin to the left side, hands it to Franklin, and Franklin's going to be swallowed up. Actually, he will get out of the scrum of Hokies and have enough for the 1st down at about the 32-yard line. Good run there by Franklin. Looks like he was going to be swallowed up in the backfield, but he kind of spun out of it and gained a couple yards.
So far, from a talent-only perspective, it looks like Miami has had the more talented players, the stronger players, and the Hokies have just not been able to match that, and some confident Hurricane fans starting to make their way towards the exits.
So again, it is pouring rain here in Coral Gables, and the fans, again, beginning to pepper out throughout the stadium here As the clock ticks, 2:40 in a rolling clock, play clock under 10 seconds. Van Dyke again in the shotgun. Franklin the lone back. The handoff goes to Franklin. Franklin cuts it across the 30, and he will be down at about the 29, 28 yard line here. As J.C. Price uses his first timeout.
I don't think this is a bad timeout for Virginia Tech. However, you might have waited a tad too long to make a defensive stop. It is 2nd down and 7. And what you're essentially doing here with calling this timeout is you are betting it. It's almost like pushing in chips at a poker table that this is going to be the set of downs in which you make the stop. If the timeouts are used on the next 2 consecutive plays, it would probably line up for right around the 2-minute mark where Andres Borregalis would come out for a field goal attempt. If good, that would make it a 15-point game. Virginia Tech would then need around 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes. We saw them kick an onside kick earlier today. That was when Miami wasn't expecting it, however.
So the onside kick did prove to be quite the momentum shifter for the Hokies. It's kind of what got this comeback rolling. Again, the Hokies were down by as much as 18 points early in this game. The current Miami lead sits at 12, but it has been much more competitive than the score might tell you. It's been a very back-and-forth game, kind of a stalemate in the second half with the Hokies and the Canes as Van Dyke takes a shotgun snap. Handoff to Franklin. Franklin bounces it up across the 20-yard line, and he will have enough for the first down. 2:19 remaining, and the Canes continue to move down this football field. They are on the brink of the red zone here. The clock continues to roll. Next snap will likely be under 2 minutes. And never say never, Tyler, but this one looks to be all but over.
Yeah, 2 minutes and rolling downwards. The Hurricanes are waiting till the very last second of the play clock. And J.C. Price no longer using timeouts after that Thaddeus Franklin run. It looks like Miami's just going to sit on this one and try to score, but time looks like it has run out.
So the handoff goes to Franklin once again, and he will just bounce it outside a little bit, but he will be stopped for a loss here. And J.C. Price is actually going to use another timeout here with 1:38 remaining. J.C. Price uses his second timeout. Use them or lose them. It is the second half, so these timeouts don't roll over the next game or anything, so you might as well use them in an attempt to maybe stop the Hurricanes here.
Yeah, they still have to run the ball there, not in an opportunity or a position in which they can kneel out the clock. So what you're essentially gambling on is a fumble, a turnover, or potentially, with the clock stopped at 1:38, 2nd down and 12, another timeout with 5 seconds bled off, 1:33. You could kick a field goal with around 50 seconds left. But those are very tall odds, as it would be around a 25-second average for 2 Hokie touchdowns to get back in this game.
So if this result stands, the Hurricanes will move to 6-5, therefore making them bowl eligible. Projected bowls currently sit at the Gasparilla Bowl versus Western Michigan or the Duke's Mayo Bowl versus Tennessee. As Van Dyke back in the shotgun, hands it to Franklin. Franklin bounces it outside and comes back, cuts it in the middle for a couple yards there. And J.C. Price will use his last timeout. Now for the Hokies, if this result stands, they will move to 5-6, and next week's game against the Virginia Cavaliers in Charlottesville will decide the fate of the Virginia Tech Hokies in the postseason. A win sends them to a bowl game.
Past 2 decades have been dominated by the Hokies in that series. 16 of the last 17 years, it has gone to the way of the school in Blacksburg, as the Commonwealth Cup is fought for in Charlottesville for the first time since the Hokies lost it there in 2019.
So if the Hokies are to win against Virginia, the projected bowl games currently set at the Pinstripe Bowl versus Minnesota, the Gasparilla Bowl versus Army, Hawaii, or Fresno State. So the Hokies, again, will have one more chance next week, if this result stands, to become bowl eligible. And J.C. Price will have his chance to get his first win as Hokies head coach. It's 1:33 remaining. Van Dyke takes a snap, hands out to Franklin. Franklin crosses the 15, and he is down at about the 11-yard line.
Very close to that first down marker. And at this point, it's nearly just a formality, as it looks like it'll be 3rd down and short. make that 4th and short before they move the sticks.
So 4th and short, and they are going to keep the offense on the field, but this clock, they did rule it a first down. So Van Dyke will need this one out. And on senior night, the Miami Hurricanes are going to defeat the Virginia Tech Hokies in what is a 38-26 victory, it seems like, as Van Dyke is in the shotgun, but looks like he's just going to do a delayed kneel down. That is what he will do. This clock under a minute. They'll have to take one more knee, but that will about do it. Manny Diaz with his head coach, with his assistant coaches, and they will take this one going away.
Great job by Miami to milk 6 minutes and 17 seconds of clock after Virginia Tech punted it. Thought they could potentially get the ball back, but Miami using the ground and pound to get 10 yards and 4 opportunities.
So that last kneel down will do it. Miami players diving across the field as it is a slip and slide out there on the field. It's been a wet one here at Hard Rock Stadium. The Miami Hurricanes take this one home on senior night, 38-26, spoiling J.C. Price's head coaching debut for the Virginia Tech Hokies, and the Hokies will head back to Blacksburg in preparation for the Virginia Cavaliers next Saturday as they travel to Charlottesville. We'll be right back with some post-game coverage here on 3304 Sports. The Canes are officially going bowling as they defeat the Virginia Tech Hokies 38-26 on senior night in Coral Gables. Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports, and we're here for some post-game coverage between the Miami Hurricanes and the Virginia Tech Hokies. And Tyler Van Dyke, great in the first half. The Hokies kind of shut him down in the second half.
Yeah, Van Dyke in the first half went 11 for 15 and 235 yards. Slowed him down a bit in the second half, but overall still a great performance by Van Dyke. He went 7 for 18 for 122 yards in the second half. Still an insane statistic. 19 for 33, 3 touchdowns, and 357 passing yards for Van Dyke.
The big first half from Van Dyke and the Hurricanes proved to be the difference. The Hokies fought back in the second half. A couple very interesting coaching calls, and a couple paid off. The onside kick from John Parker Roma was a bit of a momentum shifter in that second half.
Yeah, it really felt like J.C. Price was willing to take more risk than his counterpart that was relieved a week ago. That was something that I don't think a lot of Hokie fans expected, because it's something they haven't seen in a very long time from this team. The surprise onside kick, and it worked. I think that, it was a smart coaching decision by J.C. Price. Unfortunately, everything else did not work out, especially in that first half. But I think it was more so shell shock for Virginia Tech in the first half. And once they were finally able to settle in, they did look like the better strategic team on the field. Unfortunately for the Hokies, their first half hole that they dug was a little too deep for them to get out of.
Now, a couple notable players in the second half did not play. Trey Turner came out with no pads on. Braxton Burmeister did not touch the football field in the second half, and Raheem Blacksher was relatively reserved in his carries tonight.
Yeah, Burmeister he rushed for 10 times. However, keep in mind that includes the 2 times that he was sacked. Rushed for 52 yards. Connor Blumrick did a much better job at rushing the football, 132 total yards for a long of 44, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. But Blumrick didn't look half bad when he was throwing the ball. Went 5 for 11 for 39 yards, including 2 touchdown strikes to Lofton and a long pass at 28 yards.
Now you talk about Dwayne Lofton, some unlikely contributors, Connor Blumrick as well. Dwayne Lofton came up big time tonight.
Yeah, Dwayne Lofton, taking a look at his final statistics, he had 3 catches on the day for 28 yards, including that touchdown pass. For Lofton, it was really a coming out party for him. We haven't seen him too much in a Virginia Tech uniform so far.
Big career night for Charleston Rambo, eclipsing that 1,000-yard mark. He was outstanding for the Canes.
Yeah, Rambo, taking a look at his final stat line, he ends 2 receptions away from the Miami Hurricanes single-season record in receptions. He had 7 catches for 116 yards, did not get into the end zone tonight, but made a few amazing plays getting past a host of Virginia Tech members in the secondary, burning guys like Dorian Strong and Jermaine Waller all night.
Tyler Van Dyke and the Hurricanes spoiled J.C. Price's head coaching debut in a 38-26 victory on senior night. That is going to do it from Coral Gables at Hard Rock Stadium. It's been a pleasure bringing you tonight's game. I'm Ryan Wilkes alongside Tyler Katz for 3304 Sports, and we will see you next time.